Okay, welcome to D&D, boys. Where did our camp token go? Where are you guys?
We're not in Feral. We're
Around
we're
the
yeah,
crossroads, but I'm
yes.
just
We were
wondering
like-
where. All right, well, that's gone. Well, welcome back to our D&D game, guys. Last week, you guys had
Guy?
left with Jade
Welcome back.
and spoken with Risen, and had moved towards some bandits had tried to kidnap you to sell you guys off. Claiming one of you was a wizard, thinking you guys would be scared of that. However, instead, one of you was a fucking wizard. And it went poorly from there as there was some teleportation. The druid vomited acid and melted a man. It was, all in all, not a terrible time. No one died. Yeah, fair enough. You let him go under scaring them to death almost. And so they left, and you hope to never see them again. Afterwards, I like the drawing. That makes me happy. So after that, you were moving forward till you hit the crossroads, where there is a road that moves into the Lunite Castle, and apparently there was a Arcanos outpost set up there. They were doing some kind of expedition. While they were doing the search, Star had gone into their infirmary and met a couple people, talked with a few individuals, had found the removal of a leg that had some gross shit growing out of it. And then he brought it outside and he was going to study it, but one of the Arcanos saw it and they burned the heretic. Do not suffer the heretic. Do not suffer the mutant. That's their philosophy there. So that's it. That's where we picked up as you guys left there.
Fucking Arcanos, am I right?
Watch your mouth. I have half a mind to give you 50 lashings.
I don't think you
Yes,
have that kind of
please.
authority.
Well, they do. One word to the Arcanos that you're bad-mouthing them.
Jade looks at Grog and goes, "Only if you want him to."
I don't really care.
Okay. Is there anything you guys wanted to talk about? Any of this nonsense? Discuss about any of this?
I want to leave first.
Yeah,
You guys can get far enough away. The rider turned off.
we were already.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'd already left.
So, Jerry, once we find this kid, what do you plan on doing with your share?
My share of what?
The reward?
Oh,
Fucking butler.
I'm not sure yet.
I like the idea that Jerry had no idea there was a reward. He's just been hanging around to save this kid.
What about you, Grold?
Oh,
No. Oh.
indubitably.
My
Grog?
internet's still really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, Grog, what are you gonna do with your share? Star asks.
Not sure yet. Kind of just saving up right now.
Risen goes, "You could buy more mercenaries."
That's
Risen!
a no. That's a big no.
And how much for the lifetime?
For like a personal guard for life?
For like a year. Oh.
Is that how long a lifetime is to you, man?
Well, when you get as old as I am, you take it 365 days at a time. Why pay for more than I'm going to get?
Yeah. He doesn't need new socks, he's got enough to see him out.
He pulls out.
So how much for a lifetime?
400 gold.
It's not pocket change. Throw some lint at him. Ah! My whole life savings. It's yours.
Thanks. Keep this. He acts like he's putting it in his pocket. He just like drops it on the ground.
Oh, you broke it. That'll be $400 or 400 gold.
Shit. Uh, Jade's like, you guys are fun. I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you too, Jade.
Well, we're gonna be together for the next, what, 2 weeks now still?
Yeah, but that's how this always goes. You hire guards. They have their own things they want to do. They go fight an alligator in a swamp, or they go, catch the world's largest tuna, and then they just never come back. They go and try to find a dragon egg for 20 gold. 20 gold's a lot of money.
I don't know for a dragon egg.
What came first, the dragon or the egg?
If you read the religious text, it's probably
Egg.
the egg. Some say that the gods sent the eggs down from the stars in a meteor swarm.
No. Eggs would break if you drop them from the sky.
Have you ever held
Silly
a dragon
girl,
egg
keep
before?
reeling.
Yeah, that's best
No,
biology.
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. But
you?
if you ever pick one up, we'll find out real quickly, won't we?
You'll be the first to know.
All I'm saying is that a rock would very easily beat an egg. So clearly the rock came first, right?
I guess it impacted a rock, so.
There you go.
But if the eggs didn't break,
I stand up, question answer.
okay.
What about you? Star? What are you going to do with your share of the winnings, the reward? Whatever you call it.
I mean, I'm not paying you guys that much.
No,
I
not
don't
you,
know why-
for the kid.
Oh,
for the
sorry.
kid.
Sorry, I apologize.
Well, always thought of opening up a traveling bar. Offer exotic drinks, new locations.
You'd need a bard. You'd need a bard for that. My uncle is a really good loot player. Like, a really good loot player.
Well, we got this one who tells some interesting tales that point to Grolg.
But can he play the loot?
I don't know. Grolg, can you play the lute?
Oh, can we switch to US East?
Sorry, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, Ox DC'd.
Oh,
think
that's
it
so
was
much
left.
better.
Nothing of
That's so
value
much
was
better.
lost.
I couldn't hear anyone at all.
Ox just can't connect.
It's kind of an important
Ox
person.
full on DC'd. I was asking if you played the lute.
You were asking if I played the loot?
Yeah. Jade was asking, or was talking about how we need a lute player if we open up a bar, and I'm like, or a bard anyway, and her uncle plays the lute really good, and I'm
Lute,
like,
lute,
well, we got you.
Loot.
You tell good stories. And then
And then she said, but can he play the loot, though? And then Star goes, I don't know, can he play the loot?
Not much of a loot player, but
You should hire my uncle. He can teach you. Please, he's been living in my house for 10 years.
see, but if I was going to use an instrument, I'd prefer something like the horn. I've
Just
got
two-
the lungs of a
Two
I'm a-
rocks.
much bigger goblin.
Can you sing? Like a...
No, but I can shout really loud.
Oh,
What's singing?
Do you want to see?
Really loud.
sure.
Just
She goes,
Wait,
sure.
maybe we should get further away from the Arcanos before we start yelling.
right.
Maybe tonight.
I want to see Grog do Baker Street.
Okay. Can I get my rolls from each of you guys? Morik, can I get your stealth roll? Jermaine, Star, everything everyone is doing.
Perception.
You very easily find food here as we're heading into kind of a swampy environment. Morik, great. You are scouting the way.
I'm holding up the rear with my perception. I'm checking, making sure we're not being followed.
You are not being followed.
Jerry's just sitting on the thing reading.
Yeah, we're fine.
Levi's like, is anyone back there? No.
We're good.
Oh,
And on the third day, Grog, what are you rolling perception for?
Oh, I thought we were.
No, it's like a sign
Oh.
task. Like you can't,
Oh,
we can't
okay.
like split focus and have like 7 people doing the same thing.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
Um,
like I'm looking forward. Jermaine's looking back or something.
Then I
Basically,
will.
what I'm doing is
Oh yeah,
in the-
I already said I was going to be like at the front of in front of the cart, like the front man. Just if someone approaches the
Right,
cart,
if
I'm the
someone's
first
getting,
guy.
Yeah, okay, you're the
Yeah.
first. Okay,
Yeah,
Risen will walk with you then.
sure.
So as you guys are walking and you guys slowly begin setting up camp, so Risen just kind of goes over to Grog. So if you don't mind me asking, your heritage, Dwarven. Do you speak Dwarven?
I say in Dwarven, of course I do.
That sounded Dwarven, right? He like looks over at someone else. That was Dwarven, right?
Yes, it was Dwarven.
What did he
Yeah,
say?
I'm gonna say that in Dwarven.
Yes, I was Dwarven. Ah. You're too old man. I say in Dwarven back.
Yeah, I've got like 10 words in Dwarven. I've got like
yeah, das ist.
That's
I've got like give me another pint. How much is my tab? I have no idea what they're saying when they repeat it.
Yes.
How much is that? Where's the bathroom? Is there a barber? That's like it. That's all I got.
Why would you ask him if he speaks Dwarvish if you don't speak Dwarvish?
I'm just trying to figure out. This is like a whole new thing to me.
Okay,
could
I
be
was just
curious.
I've done a lot of traveling in the Arcanos. I haven't seen a goblin with dwarven heritage. It's pretty cool.
That's fair.
You know, and I like get closer to him. I'm like, could even be linked to giant blood.
You're 4'3".
I know, but some of the Duragar tend to believe that they are descended from giants, thus their growing capabilities.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Wait, are you part Duragar or part Dwarf?
Durgar,
I
right,
mean-
dwarf.
A while ago, the two kind of merged in
Mm,
some
gross.
areas. They're all
That's-
descended from dwarven kind. I mean,
That's fair. Karak-Tudor is does have a small Duragar population. They came from what was that place? Something's fine. Something.
Something's
Svartalfheim.
Svartalfheim? Yeah. Long time ago, apparently a large Dwarven population came, or Duragar population came to the surface. That's about all I know. And they kind of spread to the many keeps. They have different craftsmanship, and they've spread knowledge. Small here, and we're quite a ways away from wherever that was, I assume, but they exist.
Ooh.
It's interesting. Well, you people are so interesting. We have a gnome halfling. We have an old man who's a wizard. We have a individual who casts druidic magic. We have
You're really liking to saying that out loud, aren't you?
I mean, Jermaine was watching the back.
Yes.
Was anyone there?
Hold on.
Nope.
We look back real quick. Is anybody just there?
Is he just playing with dirt? Yeah.
He's reading the book.
There is a cow.
There's a cow.
Yeah,
Oh.
from a distance.
Wait,
it
like
looks a
just
cow.
by itself?
Yeah, he's just like walking across the
Dude,
street.
we're fucking getting that cow.
That's our cow.
Let's go.
Let's go get the cow.
Is it a cow or an ox?
Greg's gonna outpace me just walking.
Yeah.
Oh,
As you get closer to it, it's a bison.
even better. We should have.
Oh.
We should have brought. Wait, Star came with us,
Hold
yeah?
on, hold on.
Oh God! Please go handle that animal. Go roll me a knowledge nature. Roll me a nature.
I can as a druid I can use diplomacy on animals, and because of my racial feat, I get a +1.
Okay.
Oh my God, we just got
So,
a bison.
Hold on.
Plus one.
Grog starts running with Jermaine, outpasses him. Grog's going first.
I've got
Roll's like-
flowers.
Oh jeez. I'm gonna let him go first. Go ahead and roll that. 10.
Fine,
You do that, it just looks like moves towards you like it's gonna gore you like in a defensive stance. It doesn't sprint off, but it's like, nope.
Hold on, boy.
Oh,
Hold
it
on.
is. It is.
I run up.
Does he get there yet?
Yeah, he like comes up as you're like, oh, was expecting this.
Oh, if he gets that stance, then I'm gonna counter
13.
with like a sumo stance.
13.
13. Okay.
Yep.
The bison is still defensive. It has no idea what happened.
I'm going like this. I'm ready.
Don't bother the poor boy.
Takes like a step forward.
I'm standing my ground. If anything, I put a foot back just to get a little bit more ready.
Oh, jeez.
Grog,
Don't worry, I've got this.
we don't need to fight the poor animal.
If he charges at me, I'm readying. I want to try and like vault him
Okay. All right.
and get on his back.
He just
If he
keeps
does.
like slowly getting closer to you, like doing
Okay.
this.
I'm standing my ground. I've got to prove I'm the dominant. I know
Roll
how these
free.
beasts work. I know how they work. Don't worry.
Starts like backing up a little bit, like
That's right. And I'm gonna hold out the flower now.
okay, Star, roll me an aid. Roll me an aid. Go ahead, Cub or Grog. Go ahead. Let's see what you got.
Yes!
Oh my god!
Of course. That is the goblin
Star-
lineage
Star,
coming through.
yeah. Did you roll your aid for me?
I didn't need.
Oh, okay. You hold out the flower. It
Trying
like
to put
as
it
you
back off.
okay, as you hold out the flower, as you kind of something speaks to this bison as it comes closer.
I'm gonna go with my other hand to just like pet it on the side of its face.
Okay.
Just real gentle like.
You
There.
realize you're not hurting it.
Yeah. That's good. And I'm gonna what's at my feet? Is it like just dirt? Is
It's like a dirt path, like a
Is
hard
there-
trodden dirt path.
there any like weeds or anything sticking up out of it?
Yeah, at the side of the roads. Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna keep eyes locked with it and try to like reach down and grab another like
Yeah,
thing
try
of,
to feed
of
it.
grass
Okay.
and
Yeah, it
Come on.
seems like it. I mean, it could have gotten it itself, but it's eating it out of your hand. Like, it's not against this.
I'm gonna start backing up and see if it comes any close. Like not completely take with the food
Yeah,
with
like
me.
trying
I
to
wanna
like guide it
yeah.
with body language.
Yeah.
As you're like trying to pick it, eventually it just stops eating, and then it just kind of follows you for a little bit, and then as you're kind of slowly going, like maybe 10, 15 feet, and then it just kind of stops, and turns to the left, and then it starts going on its path that it was going before.
No, hold on. I'm gonna start like getting rope out of my back.
No.
Wait,
Okay.
and I'll go to grab another thing of grass or something.
Okay, you're pulling rope out.
Shh. Come on,
Okay.
come here.
Okay. Yeah, it stops to eat what's in your hand.
While it's eating, I'm gonna try and like tie what would
Loop the rope
be a
around
lasso,
its
I
neck?
guess.
Yeah, you're gonna loop a rope around the bison.
Yeah.
You're
Okay.
getting attacked.
Okay.
It's friendly.
Hold on. I'm not looping it around its. Yeah, I probably am looping it around its
That's
neck.
all you have.
I'm being slow about it though.
Yeah, you try not to like startle it.
Yeah.
Okay. You eventually get it, but it's not taut. And as the bison turns, and the slip loop you have begins to go taut, the bison starts to freak the fuck out.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm gonna try and comment.
okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Highs and lows there, Clayton.
Bye, Grog.
He still wasn't a 1. It was a 2.
You can crit fail
You
checks.
can still
skills, right?
you can
Yeah.
still critically fail. Are there stats for a bison? There are. Good.
No, they're statless. They're actually immortal.
Okay, yeah. As you do this, as you go to comment, like, whoa there, it's just gonna like try to gore you in the face as it's gonna try to run off. So that's
Highs and lows.
We
Can't
can't
get the
see
camera
that.
close.
We can't see that. It kind of looks like a 20. Sure, it works. It's fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can tell.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't have high damage, right?
Bye, Grog.
Does the multiplier get doubled in this, or just the dice?
I thought everything got doubled in this game.
I thought no, that you roll it and then you times it, right? It's you roll the damage once and then you multiply the damage, right, Zane?
Is that how it works?
Remember? I don't remember. For that. I'll look it
Oh,
up.
Clayton? I don't think Clayton's here for anything.
Clay?
I don't think he's known. You
No.
rolled a nat. You rolled a 1 on the.
Yeah, I think you got that
second.
part.
No, he said he lagged. He still doesn't know what happened. He just knows
Yeah.
he rolled a 20.
Yeah, it just says double damage.
So roll the damage like normal and then just times that by 2. So whatever it is normally, times 2. We gotta wait for Clayeth of Bay.
Oh!
I think he. No, you can't get blown out the back end in this game, yeah?
Well, so the 4d6 is already there. Sorry, I doubled the dice. So
Oh, okay.
it should have been. Sorry. So it should
I
have
think
been.
you might be looking at Pathfinder 1E Bison.
Am I?
I think so.
I don't think there's like stats for Bison yet for Pathfinder 2, or at least there's not in.
Aren't they more deadly in Pathfinder 2? Because I remember giant rats were hitting for pretty good.
If you look on Nethys, there should be something. Nethys. That's the problem with it being so new that monsters. I doubt that Bison are gonna be in.
So a horse deals 1d6 plus 4.
Would you
Yeah,
say a
but horses
Bison
are
stronger or weaker than a Bison?
Bison.
I would
a
say
bison.
stronger.
So a horse is stronger than a Bison?
No, a bison is stronger.
All right, and a horse is 1d6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but a horse doesn't have horns.
2d4 then. 2d4 or 2d6 probably.
2d6.
One of those two.
I'll just re-roll it.
Yeah, just roll 2d6 plus. I don't know if 8 is how much strength does no? That's like 24 strength. I think giving it an 18 if it's a particularly beefy bison would
We'll
be
do 5.
realistic. Yeah. Okay. 20. Okay,
Yeah,
so it took 20
it's
damage.
a wild bison. It's not bred
Okay.
for strength and everything like that. So
20 damage.
Clay, are you here?
if he plays without the video stream, that might make it easier.
Try using
have
a
to do-
dire wolf.
There's a direwolf guy going on for it.
D10 plus 5.
No, he did 2d6 plus 5. It's fine. Oh, you said d10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Actually, that one. I think 2d6 was fine. For a bison that.
Yeah, direwolf has 20 strength.
Yep.
Grog should have at least 20 HP though, right?
Maybe I think he had 16. Right? No, he has 12 plus.
Yeah, and
Whatever
this
guy
this
you got
bison
him,
also has pack attack, so it deals an extra
Yeah.
d6 for when it's
Well-
allies. So 7 other bison come out of the ground
Oh, okay.
directly
He's
around.
just got a bunch of bison on like mini bisons
Yeah,
on top
on
of himself.
It's bear on bear on bear.
It's like cat in the
the
hat.
the Cobalt Tower.
Kobold Tower. There you go.
Yeah.
Full bison in a trench coat.
It was a thing that like kobolds had like a pack attack that didn't have a maximum amount, so you just stack kobolds.
Yeah, and they didn't
Have them
count
like a
count
log
as
here.
being on the same space because they could attack from the
You
same
guys hear me
space
or
as
no?
an ally.
Now we can.
Now we can, yes.
Okay, I'm on my phone because my Wi-Fi is just it's not today.
No, I apologize.
Right.
The
So
the
what
bison gores you in the it just like rams you in the shoulder for 20 bludgeoning damage.
Do I still have the rope?
Do you want to hold on to the rope because
What?
it's trying to run off?
Yes.
Are you conscious?
Roll me roll me an athletics check, buddy. Not only do you have the rope, but you have the rope so well that you've tripped up two of its legs in the knock-up. You ended up getting knocked in between its front two legs. Its front two legs are now tied up, and it's laying on its side. Just kicking and
Yes!
flailing and screaming.
Yes. Just spit up some
Zane?
blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the situation that's happening right now.
I did it.
I'm gonna try and talk him down. Talk the bull down.
You're gonna try to calm the bull. The bull's tripped and fallen over and had his legs wrapped up.
Oh, I'm gonna go cut the rope.
Oh, you weren't listening to any of that, were you?
I didn't hear that part. That specific
No.
part. I was looking at the
Yeah.
skill.
The
you
bull
coming at
is-
it with a knife?
Huh?
Are you coming at it with a knife?
No. Going up, pulling out the knife, and then cutting the rope.
No, stop!
Fuck. You just
Fuck off! I did this.
Yeah, and I've been telling you, fuck off.
It's
I've already. I'm. That's what I'm doing.
yeah, you come over.
When
as you're
did you
like-
tell me to fuck off?
I've been saying.
he
stop,
might have,
don't
back
fuck
off
might
with
have
this
been
thing.
lagging out.
Oh. Yeah,
He
I've
has
been
been telling you this whole time,
repeatedly
like,
telling
leave the poor animal
Stop.
alone.
This is
Clayton?
a good bull.
This
I
is a
can
good
train
bull.
him.
You come over and cut the rope. As you're cutting the rope, he says
No,
we
I'm-
could train him. Like I said, unless anything's happening, like he's coming over.
I'm
here
gonna
to talk
try
to-
and push him away.
Okay. Okay.
Who do you think you are?
the fucking druid. Now stop.
What does that even mean?
Stop tormenting this animal.
I'm not tormenting him. I'm simply bringing him under control.
Okay. If you're going to try to move past him, we are going to do initiative. Okay?
Okay.
We will use, in this case, it's going to be, for Grolg, it's probably athletics. For Star, we'll call it, we can either use deception for, deception or stealth. Like, basically, you're, like, hiding what you're doing to kind of get it going. It's like...
But it wasn't hiding anything.
That's fair. We can just use dexterity, then.
Can I just use the regular perception?
Okay.
Ooh. No.
It's a lot of 20s. Oh, okay, never mind. Line.
So, Star goes first, moves around Grolg, cuts the rope. If he has to use an action withdrawal to avoid the attack. In either case, he quickly just kind of jumps over the bull, moves around, cuts the rope.
Okay.
Well, I was already at the bull.
I mean, more like he can't stop you from doing it.
Okay.
It's more like just the quick action of like the cuts the rope without him being able to stop you. As cuts the rope, Pool stands up and begins to try to run off.
You are not the only person here.
Triggering an animal like that is the one thing I won't stand for.
How far
made
away
that
is this
clear.
from the rest of the group?
4
you
days
do
ago.
not get to make decisions
50,
for
60
everyone
feet.
else. This woman
I made
could've-
that
you-
clear
do
4
not
days
remember her
ago.
talking about
You
how
could
she
have
needed-
left.
She said that she needed another animal to carry her carriage. I thought I was doing her a favor, us a favor, so that we could make more time. I'm not suggesting
left.
keeping the bull forever. Just because you have problems, does
I'm
not
done
mean
with
that
this
you can
conversation.
decide what is best.
I walk away.
Okay.
After it's cut. It's cut.
You're not my father. You're not even my age.
I don't give a goddamn.
I love that. Just making sure in person we're all good, right?
I mean, I'm kind of angry, but I'm not. Like, I'm angry for Grog.
Okay,
not
fair
at
enough.
they.
Okay. As you guys finish setting up camp, there are some things that are going on as people are being quiet, and it's very obvious. As maybe Star and Grog are avoiding each other a little more than normal. So as we set up and before night, Jade just goes, "So, Levias, have you heard any good stories?"
Yeah, well, what kind of story? Sorry, wrong accent. What kind of stories are you after?
Anything. You travel from bar to bar. I'm sure you've heard a number of of great things.
There are all sorts of things that I've heard.
Oh.
Depends on exactly what you fancy. I mean, down where I'm from, it's a bit weird. Hearing stories about strange creatures roaming around.
What kind of strange creatures?
No one's been able to give an exact reason for it, but after seeing what's been going on lately, it wouldn't surprise me if there are some things that have been fucked around by these magic storms.
Interesting. Jermaine? Anything from your home place?
I grew up on a farm, so there was a lot of crops there, and one day there was a cow for a while, but then we got hungry, and there was no longer a cow there. God rest his soul.
Wouldn't it be God rest
Well,
her soul if it was a cow, not a bull or steer?
Oh, you just don't understand.
I kinda do it, that's why I'm asking the question.
She's like very confused. What do you mean by we don't understand?
That's why the cow was killed. Because it was a bull and we only kept cows, yes. That's why. That's
I love
why.
your stories, Jermaine.
Thank you. They're very important to me.
Oh,
I haven't been home
Well-
in years. I don't remember the stories very well.
well, I was expecting, some lighthearted things to fix this whole thing because I don't want to be without a mercenary on my way home, but now this has happened, and I think we're all sad.
Didn't you say before that you were planning on getting new mercenaries because normally they leave you?
Well, I mean, but I was hoping after Redmont.
Okay, yes.
We got back
that's
to
fair.
Little Redmont. Now we're
That's
just all
fair.
sad.
Yeah, you asked about the cow story. I'm very distraught.
I-
You touched some heartstrings there. Go a little bit gentler next time. Don't ask so many personal questions. Jerry
She's
starts
like-
crying.
She starts crying too. She starts crying too. Okay, so in this awkward night, we go through watches. Okay. Watches go normally.
Perfect.
You guys pack up, and you guys begin heading towards Faro. Along the road, everything becomes relatively normal. There doesn't seem to be any other stoppage, as you're only basically you'll be arriving there this evening sometime. As
Can I make conversation with Star today?
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but my pa used to have a pet bear.
He did.
Yep, he just came back one day and had a bear.
That's
It was a
interesting.
cub. He never told us where he got it. Just your bear reminds me of him.
What kind of bear was it?
It was brown. I was young.
What,
You know,
what
I
did
didn't
the
have
bear
good
say?
color discernment.
I'd have to ask him when I go back.
How long ago was this? Is the
Mm,
bear still alive?
no, it's been about 65 years.
I always forget how long doors live.
I don't.
Count the days.
Must be a shame seeing friends go before you.
Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with that yet. All of my friends are long-lived.
Don't get too close to Jerry.
For some
Oh
reason,
my
I think he's
God!
gonna last a while.
He's very old, and we don't know when he's gonna go.
Hey Jerry, remember I was telling you about rolling those con saves? Go ahead and roll me the con
Jerry's
save.
having a heart attack right now.
I would totally blame Star for his death. Like, what did you do?
Jerry,
Yeah, Jerry, go ahead and roll me a con save.
Said he's
I'm
very
not
old.
rolling a con save. I'm not that old yet.
Roll me a con save.
Don't roll a natural one.
Jerry's gonna die.
He's determining how much longer you have left to live.
No, fuck you. It's above average.
13 days.
Yep, you're fine. Oh, shit. Yeah, Jerry, you feel something in your chest as you're like, "Bleh."
He just burps. Yeah.
It just burps a little bit.
Not today. No. Oh. I'd like to go have a few words with Jade as she wakes up.
Yeah, sure.
Jade, I'd like to apologize for last night.
No, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to ask you
You
about
didn't-
the cow
you
very
didn't.
clearly
You
cared
didn't
about.
know. It's not your fault. Just,
Thank you. Like I said, I'm very sorry that I
It's okay.
pulled on some heartstrings of a cow bull you very cared about.
It's okay.
So, how long do you think, as a side note, do you think Star lives? He's half elf, which are very long lived, and half
Mhm.
orc, which I think live like 4 years, 5 years.
No, orcs are like humans. They live maybe a little bit less than humans.
So like 6 months. How long do humans live?
So well, my parents. were
Maybe
dead,
6 months.
And I'm older than they were when
13
they
days.
died. So, like 55 years, I'd say. Is the
I'd say,
average
wait,
life.
nope.
So like a tenth the life of an elf.
Yes, so I'd say you add and then divide by 2. So he's probably got like 200 years left. If I had to guess.
Half your age plus 7.
How long do you think? How long do goblins usually live?
Oh my, I don't know, but it's not long. I once had a dog that lived longer than a goblin.
So
We had to kill it because we don't keep male dogs.
so like
Oh, would have
eight.
been better if you said we once had a cow that was.
Oh,
So if you divide that by by 2. That's
Dwarves live long, so you take what dwarves live, you add like 5, and then you divide by 10, and then that's so like he's got like 100 years.
4 by 10. Wait, so like 300 years plus 5, so divide by 10. So it's like 30 years.
Yeah, give or take.
That's a lot different than 200. Grog, how old are you?
No. What?
How old are you, Grog?
30. Let me sleep.
Keep your voice down. It's very rude to talk about age. By the way,
Say-
how old are you?
Who had last watch? You had last watch, right?
Usually it's me, isn't it?
Oh,
I take the first watch.
oh, okay.
How old am I?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm fairly young. I'm only 90.
What?
Yeah.
Are you? She an elf?
Yeah.
Oh. Goddamn you and damn elves.
4 years.
I'm 97.
Shut up. Rub it in my face, why don't you?
How old are you, Jerry?
67.
You've aged so gracefully.
You're like the second youngest in the party.
Halflings don't live that long.
Yeah, halflings live to about 150-ish, so yeah, I'm like, 30, 40.
Oh, I thought you were older.
Nah.
Fucking,
Thank
yeah,
you.
Jesus.
That would be really funny if we were just like all elves and he was a fucking human.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
only
we're all like
204. I'm 58. God damn it. Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
dying.
I'm gonna be sad to see you
like-
go. It's
he
gonna
like-
hurt so much.
She like
And then
bring,
3 more of you.
she brings breakfast over to Grog and goes, "How you doing, old timer?"
What?
Jerry said you only live like 30, 35 years. You said you're 30.
The hell is he talking about?
Well, it's the dwarven age plus 5 divided by 10.
My great grandfather is 175 and he's still alive.
Was he the dwarf or the goblin?
The dwarf.
Well, yeah, he's a dwarf. I don't know how this works. I'm trying to
Okay,
be
fine.
nice.
My
I'm
father's
sorry. She like
My
drops the plate
father's
and
like
runs off.
50.
She like runs off and is upset. Like
So-
packs sadly.
Oh, my dear Jade, you've lived 90 years and you haven't figured out that sometimes science is wrong.
You know, magic and all that.
Goddamn cows living longer than goblins. It makes no sense.
How old are you? About 5 cows.
Jesus. Alright. As you guys pack, can I get your guys' rolls?
No.
Hold on, Ox. Hold on.
Okay.
Got a GR roll you something.
Okay.
Are you dying today? Is that
How
what's
does the
happening?
dirt
Right,
feel?
Yeah.
Course.
That doesn't. You didn't explain. Okay. Dirt is always coarse.
It's still bad.
Okay. But like it was bad the first day. Is it gotten better? I rolled pretty high. Is it gotten better?
Yeah, no.
Is it gotten worse? Has it stayed the same?
It's similar. You're dealing with dirt. You don't have like a thermometer to give you like a gauge here. It's bad, good.
Wait, so are there better things I could get to like?
Probably. This is what you know. You weren't a very well learned individual. You kind of had to cheat a little bit.
Stop,
What?
I'm not a sorcerer.
What's that?
I said I'm not a sorcerer.
I know.
Sorcerers
You're
cheat.
you're
I
learned.
understand.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right, that's fine.
Yeah, you've trained yourself on Wizarding for Dummies,
Yeah.
and you're
That's why
only
it
at
took
chapter
so
2.
Weather's still bad today.
Okay.
Out of character. I'm
Yep.
happy I'm not rolling low, just in case you find my body dead up along the trail. You just go down the trail and you see me
That
lying
would
on the
be-
side of the road.
that would be
stripped.
You
pretty
guys
funny.
just like got 16 javelins in his chest. He's just like laying on the side of the road. He's been robbed.
Ox, I want to change what my perception is.
Okay.
I want to keep an eye out for any oxen behind us or bison.
Okay, in case it's coming back for revenge.
Specifically for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. There are no bison behind you
I
currently.
feel like looking specifically for bison should make him better at spotting bison.
Yeah, he's
Lower the
definitely got a
DC.
really low DC for specifically that one animal.
Yeah.
I want to look specifically for any bison with ropes around their necks. Yeah, the
Well,
DC's
no, it was
2.
cut. I'm sure it's come off.
Yeah. Now he's wearing it as a fashion statement.
He cut it off.
We cut the one around his leg so he could run off. It's a slip
There's a
loop. It'll
saving
fall
rope.
off over time.
Aw, you
Yeah,
guys.
it's a
I'll
slip
show
loop.
you
It'll
the
come
slip
off in
loop.
time.
All the
You-
other
Ox, would
bison
you
are
say it
gonna
would,
make fun of him.
It would slip off, maybe.
Got him. Got him.
Slip off.
And
Okay.
slip off.
Morik, you see coming up the road is a man riding a horse like a bat out of hell. Single man.
Fire.
You're remembering I cut my scouting distance in half after before, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Saying you see him coming up the road.
What's he wearing?
The question is, how long do you want to wait so you can get a better spot of him before you report it? He's
I'm
not
going
wearing
back, but I
armor.
figure I could get a
He's
quick
not wearing
look at him.
metal shiny armor.
Does he have anything portraying him as Arcanos, as far as I can see?
You can see a horse and a guy on it wearing cloth-like material.
I'm going back to the group.
You report to them as at this point they can see him.
The British are coming. The British are coming.
As you just
I-
hear yelling in a distance.
Fireball.
Go ahead if you guys want to talk.
I think there's a Wookiee charging at us.
What's a Wookiee?
That's a bison, I hear.
Why are you running?
Dude, he's so far away right now. Like he's screaming and you can
I
hear
was
that.
So
just
he
making
just-
the joke.
Looked at someone.
Yeah, it can't see his mouth move, anything, nothing. Like there's nothing. What you guys do? What do you want to do?
Yeah, well, do we
I-
hold our swords up?
Continue standing in front of the cart.
Standing in front of the car.
Just keep going.
I
right?
take my gun off my back though.
Get
out of the way!
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna start getting stuff off the road. Let him pass.
Okay, as you guys kind of move out of the way, he just gets closer.
I
Closer.
trip him.
Oh fuck! Do you really?
No,
You're just gonna?
no.
He's on a horse. Like.
Kill him.
Kind of want to, but I'm not gonna.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir, what's the hold up?
It's as he goes, move, move, move. As you're like, excuse me, sir, move. Thank you, thank you.
Fireball.
I'm gonna try and do
Fireball.
this again. My internet seems to be doing a little bit better.
As Jade's like, that was weird.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm
I
hoping he
think we
wasn't
should
some
be
kind of
worried about
thief.
what's probably coming next.
You're what? You guys see a giant, one-eyed giant.
Amorian.
I would
was
have.
about-
I would have fucking. I would have quit. I would
And
have
he's
quit.
going, move, get out of the way.
Like,
move."
if I don't play, Sar can't die. I'll
Good
leave.
news! There's a really bad firestorm. There's a really bad wild magic storm. If we just leave him be for a while, he might fall out of a couple trees and die. Easy.
He might
Easy.
blast himself.
Okay, that's it. Nothing comes up the road behind you guys.
Or in
Well,
front.
Important.
We're in front.
I'm hoping that he wasn't a thief just booking it or something and we get in trouble for not apprehending him.
I don't think
Yeah.
we get in trouble for that.
Liability.
You can't expect travelers to just stop every man riding a horse.
You're in trouble for not risking your life. How dare you?
Ah, you did interfere in something that wasn't your business. Go to jail.
Speaking of stupid laws, what is the scene here? Is there anything we should be aware of, Miss Jade?
When you say scene,
Like any particular laws or just ways of acting that we should be aware of?
Ju- to give an example, I once went to a town where wearing a hat wrong could get you thrown in jail for 2 hours. Very weird law. Is there anything that, going in we should know?
I've never worn a hat here. I don't know.
Is there anything that's illegal here that's not in Redmont?
Oh, not really. This is pretty far out as far as like from their reach. That's swampy area and mostly left to govern themselves. Barony troops don't like to come here. If anything, it's probably a little more unlawful.
Okay.
Unlawful.
Yeah,
So
I
how
don't
do you
know
get
if
your
I-
wires anyways
I
from
don't
the
know if I'd
town?
be excited about that.
No, unlawful.
Well, I mean,
We'd be a little excited.
it's a thing.
Unlawful.
I mean, they worship Aristil, just for the hunting, his aspect. Although they don't really follow his a good number of his teachings. You know, they.
I understand.
The law part.
They'd rather hold the rock than praise it. I understand completely.
What?
You know, because if you're holding the rock, then you have the power to beat someone with it. But then you're not gonna pray to the rock for giving you the ability to beat someone with it.
Oh, okay. Sure, they worship gods right here. God of nature. Otherwise, there's a minor deity shrine that apparently got left by, from what I hear, frog people at some point. They just left it up.
Oh man, I love frog people.
Did you know that they could take any jump as though they had a running start?
Yeah.
Incredible.
How does I mean? Don't frogs just do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what's the impressive part?
They jump better than us.
Yeah. Wouldn't you rather jump better?
Than
Aw, man, if
myself?
I could jump better? That'd be so good.
Jump better than myself? Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I guess there's no downside.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
You guys
So
are
you
saying
think they worship-
nonsense.
Aristone?
I'm with you on this one, Grog. High five.
Wouldn't it be a
Ah,
logo?
good.
Why'd you say Aristil?
Isn't that what you said they worship?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
In my downtime while setting up camp box,
In
I would like to
Gosray.
start working on a carving of Aristle.
well, and Gazra.
He's got a deer head, right?
He's got a deer head. His signature weapon is a bow.
Would
I'd
it,
like
would
to
it,
work on both then. Like try and make two before we get there.
Mr. Morik, are you a man of the faith?
I'm gonna take a short break here. I really need to pee.
Yeah, so
Oh, pee.
If you guys finish up the conversation, we can take a short break here.
No, I'm not.
Oh, well, I've done a little bit of studying, and if you'd like some help on what it could look like, I'd be happy to give you some insight.
That'd be great.
I'll make a religion
Knowledge,
roll.
religion,
Yep.
yep. And then roll me a craftsman check. Please roll.
Wait, does
one.
religion take wisdom? Knowledge, religion take wisdom?
I think
Oh,
so.
okay, interesting.
Well,
Okay.
Because I think it's more about the teachings and deciphering
is,
them,
yeah,
not just
that's
a
fair.
recollection.
yeah. Also, religion as a whole is not. It's not just the knowledge. It's basically
That's
all
fair.
stuff religion.
Interpreting it, yeah, that's fair.
I think
17.
I've been doing these crafting rolls wrong, by the way.
Okay. Roll it correctly now.
Well, I
Yeah,
need
they-
to look at it
Okay.
because I have specialty crafting.
Fair enough. Then I'm gonna go to the bathroom while you look up those rules, and then roll it, and then we'll take a short break here.
yeah,
Copy.
I'm pausing the stream. I shall be back in a moment.
thing. It's like a deer head and like
Effigy.
like a little
Like a
deer head on a
hand-sized.
bow or something. Yeah, it's like maybe this big. Not super big,
Just-
but it's nice.
Just for me to write it down, what would you say my total roll was for that?
18.
Okay. And it is of who? Aristal?
Okay. You guys arrive late in the evening. As you're arriving, you see torches lit. This place looks like it's almost on fire. As you get
The
closer,
buckets of
it's
water.
not on fire.
How else would they light the torches?
There are torches everywhere lit. And as you're approaching, you can see this from a distance. And as you get closer and closer, eventually they release a number of lanterns up into the sky. As she goes,
Mhm.
"Oh, are they? I think they might be doing their festival. It's that time of year. We might be midway through it. This would be a good time to come." I'm glad we came.
festivals.
Get a
Ugh!
sacrifice festival because I don't want to get sacrificed to nothing.
No, well, I mean, no, it's not. I don't think they do unless it's like low key. It's more like a celebration of the swamp, nature.
Is that a hint? Is that a hint that there's sacrificing things to Loki?
Well, no, like unless it's like really hidden. So so I once heard a story that there was a changeling who lived in the woods, or in the swamp, and part of their whole thing and the deal to build this swamp and harvest its resources was they had to do a celebration every 3 to 5 years, and they had to do
Wait,
this celebration.
Variable? How do they decide?
Well, fair.
3 then 5.
Changelings are weird. I don't know. I'm not on the planning committee. All I know is they do it between 3 and 5 years. And they do it. They throw out lanterns, and it's basically just a big party. They do a number of events. They have different guests that come through and play music. They do a lot of stuff. It's nice, but it's in a swamp. So a lot of mosquitoes, a lot of, still a swamp.
Sounds like it could be a fun idea.
It'll be a good time, and worst case scenario, it'll allow us to go undercover. So yeah. As you guys get close to the town, a number of guards come out to meet you. One of the guards in particular is wearing a vibrant blue mask, as it has like these large curling horns that twist on top of each other and kind of go up into a single spiral. As he goes, "Welcome! You've come in time for our festival. Welcome to the Festival of Change, my friends. Have any of you attended before?"
Can't
No.
say that I have.
Very good. Well, Copper Piece will get you a mask. We can send you in. It's a time of differences. It's a celebration of the seasons, a celebration of all things. As in short, just do us a few favors outside of your door. Leave a small pitcher of milk. Leave a small pinch of salt, and that should satisfy the spirits.
I'm sorry, spirits?
Of course,
Spirits of what?
the spirits of the forest. Well, the swamp rather. It's not really a forest, but we get our
Swamp's like-
food. What's that?
The swamp's like a forest.
Just there's a lot of water in it.
Smelly and wet.
Now, do we each as individuals have to leave out milk and salt, or is it per household?
In front of your door. So if you're staying at a tavern, make sure that your room has this outside. I'm sure the bartenders would be happy to sell it to you if you don't have any with you. And yes, if you're staying
Is
at a
that one
house, leave
copper?
it outside of your household. What's
He
Okay.
said a copper for a mask.
yeah, copper for a mask.
I'll give him a copper.
Okay, he pulls you one that looks like some kind of swamp hare. It's got larger ears kind of sticking up as it kind of comes down to the nose. Kind of this brownish, dark brownish to black
What is it?
mask.
Freddy Darko or whatever? Donnie the Darko?
And what exactly is the point of the mask?
Well, it's in a sense of everything is always changing. Correct? I'm sure as you've seen the seasons pass, as you chop down a tree, as you replace it with a house, everything is always changing. So this is a changing of personalities, of times, and otherwise to allow an individual to reinvent themselves, to come to peace with them old selves, allow that to die, and rise again as a new individual. So old hatchets, family rivalries come to an end. Business rivals bury the hatchet and begin anew. Um, those who come from afar and bring slaves, release them. It's a time for new change.
I'm sure that goes well for the slaves and their owners.
Well, if they're here, they've brought them here with intention. So those who have come here with good intention, they leave new people. Those who come with bad intentions, well, may the spirits be merciful.
I'll have a mask.
Copper piece. As he gives you one, as he throws you one, as this one is like a crab-like design. It's a very chitinous appearance, while Morix is kind of furry. It's not made of fur in itself.
Don't you dare call
I'm
me a
happy
furry.
being
It's-
crab.
It's like a fake. As yours is a crab, it's very
people.
chitinous, leaves an opening. As it hooks down underneath, like towards where your mouth is, as the claw opens on the top where your mouth would be, as another one curls up to the top over top of your forehead.
Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll get one as well.
This one's a snapping turtle, as this one has a very fleshy-like feel to it that kind of comes down and across. It elongates out a little bit and has that little beak that a lot of the snapping turtles do.
Oh god, please let us not Twilight Zone.
Here's 2 copper. What'll 2 copper get me?
Well, I'll tell you what.
2 masks
Two
for me and my
masks.
friend Risen.
Sure. As he brings out, one is like a crocodile, as another one seems to be very mosquito-like.
Oh, I'm going for the mosquito.
I love it.
As you have a very elongated, like pointy nose, as it's
Mhm.
very bug-like, has these like on the top, it has like the complex eyes.
Mhm.
All these are pretty high craftsmanship, truthfully.
I'll spend a copper and get one as well.
As you kind of go through this,
What about untruthfully?
as they kind of
Already
go through,
getting dark, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
as he gives you one, she also pays, as you get one that's a heron.
Okay.
The elongated beak, the white head, as there's kind of these feathers that go back over top of your head and kind of stick about 1.5 feet back. As
Do I need to make a note of this?
I would.
Okay, is it gonna come up of like, yeah, I have the heron mask, or okay,
It might. It would be worth your time
Okay.
writing them down.
Just as a descriptive factor, why not?
Does everybody else around, like, do the citizens around here have masks on right now?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll put mine on right away then.
The guard's even wearing one.
Wow.
What's he wearing?
Like I said, he's wearing that blue mask that kind of curls and then coils on top of itself. It's not an animal.
Oh, it's a
I
snake.
have a question.
Yes.
Is there a fairgrounds, and do you need a license to sell at the fairgrounds?
So there are fairgrounds. You would have to pay a small fee to be able to enter. I believe this year it's 2 silver, if I'm not mistaken.
That's small?
Well, there are a number of people who come here. It's
Out of
good
character.
business.
Is that a small amount?
Not. It's fairly expensive. That's like a day's labor for a fairly skilled individual.
Okay.
It's not insignificant. It's not ridiculous, but as Jade gets one that's a raccoon. It would be easy to arrange. If you
Real quick, I just want to take note. What does everybody have? Grog has what?
Crab.
You can type it out publicly too.
What is
turtle.
Logan? What is your turtle?
A snapping turtle.
I'm a swamp hare.
I'm a vampire to suck your blood.
Mosquito.
How did I not realize that that was why you wanted the mosquito one?
Duh!
Buh!
What
I
was,
should say
what was Jade again?
buh.
Jade is a raccoon, and Risen is an alligator.
So happy.
What are you
So
saying?
you just want to type that out in the public chat as well.
Sure.
Zane's a heron.
Seems a red heron.
I
As
don't
he
think he said red heron.
as he leans down to the bear. Well, my friend, if you don't mind me asking, how well trained is this one?
Very.
Well, do you think if I gave you a mask, he might be willing to wear it?
Let me ask him. Blue, would you like a mask? I point at the mask. I think he would.
He goes, I have just the one. As he reaches in, pulls out a bear mask.
Good.
I'm happy.
He goes, he also pulls out another one. He goes, I have a deer and a bear mask.
Let's go with the bear.
For the season of change, he's still a bear. Sounds good. I'm sure the spirits of the swamp expect these sorts of things.
It's funnier
Well,
this way.
He puts a bear, it's just a bigger version of his own head. That's all it is. That's all it is. As you like try to figure out a way to
thing as him?
like attach it, he gets another strappy to like go under the chin so it can like hold on to it properly as he's like Baloo's kind of struggling a little bit to seize. He like sits on his butt, is like eventually it fits and he's just
It's okay. You can take it off tonight.
seems to be okay with it. So great. As where did you post that at, by the way, for everyone?
In our chat.
Okay.
In the Lost campaign.
Perfect. Okay. Should be about 2 silver. If you go northwards, you'll hit the town center. There will be some lighter wooden palisades, which leads into the kind of the swamp docks. If you go through there, the swamp has been netted off to keep out any unexpected guests, and it's there, right by the swamp river. It's quite nice.
And what's your name, sir?
Oh, my name is Alor.
Thank you.
Of course. If you come by the southern gates, I'm in charge here most nights. If you have any problems or otherwise, feel free to come and find me. Do you have any questions before you head off to your festivities?
Are there any rules we need to abide by? Specific to the festival?
Standard things. No murdering, stealing, fighting.
Specific to the festival.
Write that down. Write that down.
Murder, no! Got it.
Normally we do so many murders.
It's so
That's our favorite thing. Damn it.
But now that you told us we can't, we won't. Don't
no,
worry
no
about it.
one's ever told us no before.
Well,
Oh god.
some of us are more superstitious than the others. I myself believe fully in the spirits. Treat the spirits well. If you honor them with your actions, with your prayers, with your duties, and your fun, your revelry, it's possible you may be visited by one.
Oh god, that's horrifying.
Oh, sorry. Prefer not to.
Well,
It sounds interesting.
just keep in mind, Arcanos watch. If there are any dangerous spirits, well, I'm sure
I'll
they
die
can
to 'em.
take
You said there are Arcanos here?
What's that?
Arcanos are here?
Yes, of course. There any
Good.
any magical anomaly. Well, this has happened long before the storms. Any magical anomaly, there are always Arcanos around.
Are the spirits not affected by the storms?
I don't know, but if you get the chance, I'd love you to ask that question.
He just
Why?
did.
I'm not a
To the
spirit.
spirit.
To them.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not. I
It's the mask. It confuses him.
Oh, fair enough.
Insight check. Is this really Pharaoh, or are we walking into a spirit world?
Is this spirited away, Ox?
We're
You're gonna
about
be
to become
pigs.
slaves to a bath.
Jade goes, well, I'm going to set up my little friend here at the stable. And set up my supplies. If you want to go to the festival, I can finish up here and I'll join you shortly.
Alright.
Paid you to guard me, not to be stable hands.
I want to go down and try and find a spot to set up my keg.
You go in as you head towards the gate. As you kind of cart that in, one of the individuals at their wearing basically one of the guards there with a large woodpecker mask kind of comes up and goes, "Are
Pecker.
you buying or selling?"
Selling.
Oh, well, I apologize. It's a little last minute. We're a couple days in, but I think we have a few spots left. What are you going to be selling?
I point to the keg.
Oh, drinks. Perfect. So he kind of goes, Don, come here. As far as drinking, how many stations do we have set up? 6? Okay. We'll call it. We kind of need you. How do you just have the one keg?
Yes.
Oh, how many drinks do you think that could supply? I'd hate to
Well-
charge you full price if you're going to be done in a few hours.
Well, a full keg is should get out 124 pints.
I'll tell you what. Pay me a silver now. I'll go ahead and write up the contract. If you're there longer than, we'll say 5 hours, how about you come back and pay me the other silver?
Okay.
Is that agreeable?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good. As he
You're gonna
brings out a
make so
contract,
much goddamn money.
they write it out as they set it all up, and they kind of lead you to an area as he goes, are you going to need any, as he walks out with you, are you going to need any supplies, table, pints, otherwise?
I go cheap because I don't supply the cups. If they come to me, they get a pint.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if you don't need anything else from me, enjoy your festivities. Okay, as he walks you in, as he leads you to this place, it's kind of in a corner, a little offset from the main crowd, as the middle is kind of where the large festival are. This is kind of like a vendor's row. There's some food, there's some different things being served. Heron, there's some deer being served, there's gator that's being served. Across the way, a little ways off, you can see there seems to be like a little, probably an extension of the tavern to kind of bring it out of the where people aren't going to be at the tavern itself and bring it into the festival. As
Open
you're
air
beginning
drinks.
to set up, what's that?
Open air drink area.
As you guys are wandering kind of around, again seeing a number of people wearing a plethora of masks. As quickly coming in, even in this offshoot, like as you're setting up, 3 people come up and go, well, I don't believe I've seen you here before. What do you call this?
Well, this is some Redmond Stout.
Redmont Stout. Man, it's been a while since we've had a shipment from Redmont. Wee
Well, I don't
doggy!
think
Well, I tell you what, I'll take myself a glass. Where's the cups?
Well, if you need, I got 8 glass, but for 2 copper, or bring me your own. I'll charge just 1.
I tell you what, I'll run home. It's been me a while since I've had one of them. I'm gonna head out. I'll be back. As he
Oh, my
kind of
heavens.
wanders off with like the other two as they head home to get some glasses. You set up. One of the people from the other tavern comes over and goes, as they're kind of a larger man, fairly portly, I would call them.
Rude.
As he comes over, I don't believe I've seen you in these parts. Coming through, traveling, or setting up shop?
We're only here temporarily.
Of course.
Don't have
I
the
mean,
faculties to have my own full shop yet.
well, that's a shame. This place could always use more drink, and I'll be honest with you, it's been quite lonely since the other tavern closed up shop.
The other taverns closed up shop.
Well, there were two here, but it seems whatever their special ingredient was, it ran out, and without whatever that was, mine just exceeded in taste. We have our own brewery out here. It's not bad. I'll be honest, it's not the best, but it's pretty good and it's cheap.
Drink for a drink.
I can do that.
I trade
I'm not
him
I'm not the owner of the bar.
Oh,
But
I thought
I
you
do
said it
manage.
was his.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
we do. He goes, I do manage the pub.
Okay.
He wanders over. As he comes over, I'm sorry, do you have glasses?
That's part of me not having full faculties. That's why I plan to get it out so cheap. Try and
Well,
get it
if
out
you-
fast.
If you want, we have a dishwasher and we've got plenty of cups at the bar at our bar. We could bring some out. We don't expect much business there tonight, except those weird fuckers who come in alone. Uh, we have a dishwasher, and otherwise we can rinse them out. You give me 5 copper. I'll run those dishes through. Just make sure you give them back to me at the end of the night. I can probably lend you out 15, 20. If you don't want to, if you have to think about it, that's fine. You can do it your own way. I've just given the offer.
I gotta wait for you to make quite a bit of money. Why
What's
don't
that?
you have them out on loan? Offer them to patrons for a copper a glass. If they're in need, because I'm offering my my ale for a copper per. You bring your own glass.
How much is it if they need to borrow one of yours?
2.
I don't see much markup there, but it keeps them from having to run home.
Well, I only got the 1 glass.
Well, I think this could be arranged. That's a good idea. I tell you what. If you're willing to give me just a small portion of it, or make sure these glasses get sent over to me when my dishwasher comes over. Just make sure they don't get lost or nothing. They drink, leave them. I'd be happy to just kind of cut it off there.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Sure.
My name's Gilvad. Nice to meet you.
Gilvad?
Gilvad.
Gilvad. Star.
Pleasure. What's your last name for me, friend?
Star.
Trekking.
Yep, the other world.
I think it's important to know another man's lineage.
Please be trekking.
My last name's Red Taker.
Oh, Vad is not the last name.
Gilvad's my first name. Red Taker's my last.
Okay.
My people used to, well, my great grandfather used to pull up this red clay, and they would use it for huts and such, and mail it off. It makes a good, I guess you could call it almost like a pitch. But you don't need it for ships or whatnot. It's not water resistant, but it does really well to get in the cracks of log cabins and whatnot.
Ostrovers.
Ostrovers. Pleasure's mine. Well, I'll go ahead and set that up on my end. It was nice meeting you. Good luck. Enjoy the festivities, and may change come to us all.
Absolutely.
So, Star, you're going to kind of set up there for the night. Okay? I'm assuming. Are you specifically doing anything for business? To help drum it up.
But yeah, crying out or crying.
Barking.
Let me see. What the fuck is it? There it is. Yeah, it's Redmont Stout. Yeah, calling out Redmont Stout, Redmont Stout. Bring your own cup. One copper a pint. Use ours too.
Okay. Let me do this. Will you do me a favor and roll me a performance check? Okay. So, as you go through the night, you have a few customers. For whatever reason, what, how, or who you are doing it, people just seem to be avoiding it completely. There are a number of people you come through. You sell about, over the course of the night, about 16 glasses, but that's low for the number of people who are rotating through. But over the course of the night, that's what happens. This is a multiple night event. So maybe it's just the fact that you're brand new and people don't know, or otherwise. But, like I said, you're there, you drum up some business, but for whatever reason, it just, the general populace aren't aware that you're there for one reason or another.
Did they use their own glasses or mine?
Of the 17, we'll say 2 of them used your glass.
Okay.
So, the rest of you, what do y'all want to do? Or do you want me to
I wanna go
kind of,
back and see what they have.
as you head into the fairgrounds, do you want me to describe your scene?
Yes.
Okay. As you head into the scene, it's like these small tents and rows of shops and otherwise. As you enter in, it's just an open merriment. There's 3 stages that you can see from a distance, as there are people dancing and otherwise on stages, a number of people singing and just crying out as there's laughter and otherwise. You can see a large tower with a bell on the end of it. You can see a number of people as you see them hurling these large sandbags up and across as they make a splash into the water, as you see somebody go out there and re-grab it, pull it out. There's somewhere around 200, 300-ish people here. Sound like a lot, but it's not a huge area, and it's quite packed. There's people shooting bows at trees and targets. There's this large purple tent that's set off to the side that says palm readings. There are a number of things to do. Looks like there is like a hammer to the bell. There's like this bag toss. There's a thing where you hold like a log and see who can hold it the longest.
Oh, I'm going to that immediately. I'm holding the log. I'm holding the
Okay.
log the longest.
It's log.
Okay.
It's log.
There is like a juggling competition. There is pillars set up in the water where you like jump from like stake to stake, these large logs that have been set in it, so you kind of jump from stake to stake, kind of going over the course. Yeah,
Very
there's a number of
tragic
things to
story.
do.
I'd like to go to the bow one.
Let's start with Grog, because he was the first one. Okay, Grog, as you come over. Well, howdy, little fella. I tell you what, these people are about to come to an end. We're about to have a next round going. We can get up to 8. Are you in?
Absolutely.
2 copper pieces to join. If you're the last one standing, I'll give you a silver.
Oh, I'm in.
Just be aware, this isn't a contest of strength. This is about endurance, friend.
And endure I shall.
Very well. As eventually they give off, as one of them kind of collapses, the final one, as a guy comes over and grabs it. sets down his last piece. He goes, "Silver piece 1 over here. Come on over if you want to give a gamble." As over the course of 30 seconds, a number of people who have been waiting kind of off to the side kind of come. There's a 16-year-old kid, kind of fairly small, but it looks like he's been like working on the boats, or otherwise he's fairly beefy. There's there's a woman who seems just a little bit finer dress, not like fancy, but like she's not wearing like workers clothing, like maybe she has an indoor job or otherwise. There's a number of people that kind of join. So they basically come over as they get a number of people. Can I get some volunteers to help me lift these logs up so we can start them all at the same time? There's a number of people come over, set them on your back, and go, as the log is probably about 50, 60 pounds. Nothing crazy. As it's a con check. It's to see who can go the longest.
I'm guessing.
Fortitude.
Is it just con or is it fortitude?
It is fortitude.
Tootie.
Cutie
Jesus.
fortitude.
Oh God.
Everyone else
Surprised
falls.
Levias didn't want to get in on that.
What's that?
Surprised Levias didn't want to get in
Oh,
on that.
hells no.
He doesn't have good con. He's just good at drinking.
I didn't want to embarrass Grog, so I didn't want to go.
That's fair.
Let him have his time.
So over the course of about 5 minutes, 6 of them are out.
Nice.
So very rapidly, as you're looking over, as there's this maybe mid-40s human who's been basically working on these boats, doing
Jerry.
something in the swamp for a while. He's
Mhm.
he's not super built, but he's just cut really well because he's been maybe pulling ropes or whatever he's been doing. He's just been doing it for a long time. Roll me another fortitude save. I'm going to roll this public. Okay.
God damn!
Oh.
As he's kind of breathing, as he avoids the increase in the DC, as he's just kind of breathing.
Do I not?
You don't. Every round it goes up. If on a crit success, you avoid that increase in the DC. You succeeded. You didn't crit succeed.
Okay.
So, as you're kind of holding it, he goes, "Are you right there? Man, that thing must be a third of your weight, maybe half. You doing okay there, boy?"
I am not talking to him.
No, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to say I'm fucking impressed.
Well, thank you. So am I. You're a little bit scrawnier than I would have expected.
Well, it ain't all about muscle. It's all about work, and I've been working for 12 hours a day since I was born, basically. From the time I was 8, I've been working on these swamp boats.
What's your name?
Oh, my name? Zeke.
Zeke? Grohl.
Please.
Goldenbringer.
Nice to meet you. Last name Stiz.
Stiz?
If you ever need a trip into the swamps, I spend most of my time catching gators or otherwise for our leather workers. Need any help? I might be able to take you through it sometime. It's a beautiful place.
Don't think I've ever been in a swamp, so I'd be curious.
You're close enough. It's 10 feet behind you, boy.
Might take you up. Also, I'm not a boy. I'm a girl. A man.
Oh God.
I apologize. I don't mean to be rude. I just not familiar with the name Grog.
I gotcha.
Roll it again for me. 8. Okay, it's not an instant fail. Okay, so it's 3. For the people who weren't the first round, who I expected just to fail. Okay, so both of you fail.
Stop raging.
Okay.
That doesn't
So-
do anything in this. Just gives me hit points.
So roll me another one. Okay, both pass. DC goes up again. As you both are sweating pretty profusely. As you're both kind of focused, he's kind of stopped chatting with you and otherwise. As okay, you as he. Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna make this one, Grog. I think you might have me beat.
I think I've got my second wind.
Do you like press it twice and put it back?
Yeah, like I like squat a bit and then come back up like, oh.
God damn.
It's
Okay,
about
roll.
it's all about the legs, boy.
Ooh, he's out. Unless you roll 1. Yep. As you continue to hold us, he goes, all right, that's it. As he goes down to one knee, I'm done. I can't do anymore. As some guy comes over to get off, he goes, well, this is a surprise. The one who weighs half the weight of the log seems to win. What's your name, boy?
And I'll just kind of like with that like and just kind of like push it off. Grog.
Nice to meet you,
roll my
Grog.
shoulders.
You know,
Silver piece here. Come on up and take a gamble.
you know,
Ah!
Clayton, I almost picture you like having it, like just whacking it upright and then jumping on top of it. It's like, yeah.
You don't get your 2 copper back. You basically earn 8 copper by winning.
I got you. I figured that was what it was. I mean,
Okay.
he's how else is he making his gold?
Exactly. Okay. You want to go to the archery spot, Mark?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd be
Okay.
going to that as well.
Okay. You both go up. As you see, kind of an older lady, very very wrinkled, and otherwise, and she goes, "Well, what can I do for you all? What can I do for you all?"
You've got an event set up for shooting.
Oh, so I do. Sorry. Well, it's here's the game. 2 people shoot. Both put up 3 copper.
One of them dies.
Winner gets to keep 4. Sorry, hold on. No, 5 copper each. Winner gets to keep 8.
no money.
2 people. Winner.
I'm
Gets to
really
keep,
just doing this for you.
Winner gets to keep 8.
I'm always game for a bit of a friendly wager.
If you lose an arrow, cost a copper. Don't miss the
Gee,
target.
this is it's a money sinker. Yeah. I'll do a game.
Very well. 3 arrows each.
You want to shoot against me, Levice?
Oh, absolutely, I'm game for that.
Very
I
well.
don't know where my
Well,
accent
So you
just
said it
went.
was 5 copper?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
5
game
copper.
for that.
Winner
Yeah.
gets 8.
I'm game for that.
Well, 3 arrows each. You can do however you want. Alternate or shoot one by shoot. All 3 will pull up next 3. Whatever you want to do. Just don't shoot it into the swamp, please, because we ain't getting those ones back.
You want to do 1 by 1?
That probably seems the fairest.
Bullseye's 10 points. Out middle ring, 6 points. Outer ring, 4 points.
I'll
Okay.
let you go first.
Can I
Go
set
ahead.
Can I set a target as my hunter's mark?
Got to be a living creature.
Yeah, I know. Is it with our own bows?
No, it's theirs.
Short bow?
Short bows. 16. Well, that right there seems to be a nice old 6 points.
My go then?
8 points for that one. Four points. That one's gonna cost you a copper.
All right.
What's that? Oh, natural 1. Okay.
8 points, not bad. Seems like you're gonna win unless this man hits the target.
Sorry, I'm having to click through different tabs.
You're fine.
Another man?
Well, that one's gonna cost you another copper, and I think it's best I take this bow away from you, son, before you end up hurting somebody. She reaches out very slowly for it, shaky hands as she takes it.
And I get 9 copper back.
You get 8 back,
8. Yeah, sorry, I had 1.
and he has to pay 7 because he lost 5 and then also lost 2 arrows.
That's upsetting.
And you might be banned from this game in the future because of how just because it's like you're just not used to this bow. It's not for dwarven. It's for like
I
humans.
used a short bow.
Yeah, but it's still like it's just different proportions for like your size and human size. It's still a short bow, but it's just different. You're unfamiliar with it. It's just weird.
Because you're short doesn't mean you can use it.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
because you're a
I'm
bow
shorter than
doesn't
he
mean
is.
Yeah, but you're used to having to like scale up, whereas like a dwarf, he's it's kind of an in between, and so that slight difference just threw him off badly enough to miss the target.
Mhm.
Whereas you're used to like, dude, if I pick up your bow, like I'm gonna be fucking like I have to learn how to use this because I'm so much smaller.
Well,
Okay.
that's always good to win. Thank you for the friendly wager there.
I just wish I could have done better.
There's the
Yeah. Everyone has off days occasionally.
there's hopping across the stones. There's that hammer. There's that giant purple tent. There are these kind of dance offs.
Does anybody want to do the pillar jump?
See, to be fair, I would actually love to see Jerry do that one.
No, these old bones don't pillar jump anymore. I'm actually going.
Come
Oh,
on there.
what?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, somebody comes over. Come on, old man. I'll tell you what. I'll pay half your entry fee if you can just go ahead and give it an attempt.
Oh God. I'm gonna hand my cane to Levias and I go, you hold on to this and don't lose it. Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Just rips his shirt, just fucking
Yeah.
swole as fuck.
Oh, Jesus.
Full on Master
Oh,
Roshi.
Roboff. He pulls the robe off. He's a 65-year-old monk. You guys are like,
Oh god.
Yeah.
he's a 20 strength, 20 dex, 20 con, 20 wisdom character.
he's
Like,
like the uncle. What's the uncle's name from what's it called?
Iro.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. Yeah, that guy.
Fucking
Oh,
Master Roshi
Jesus.
this shit.
All right, let's do this. Where do I go?
as they take you over, well, it's nice to meet you. 6 jumps. It's gonna cost you 3 copper to enter. He goes, I'll pay 2.
6.
Pays 2.
So 3 copper.
6 jumps.
Yeah, I'll pay half, and I'm rounding up. I'll
I
pay
haven't-
2 copper just to see you
Okay.
jump.
All right. Okay.
He
here you
goes, don't worry about it. The first 3 are a step.
go. I'm worried. All right.
Do you think I can step with this goddamn?
Hey, so you pay 1 copper piece.
Yes.
Roll me a reflex save.
Oh God.
Do you think I can take this up?
You
God,
make it across the
fucking
first 3 steps, as now you have to make a little hop to the next one.
God.
You don't. As you make the hop, he like
Just
and
falls
falls
forward.
in the water. It just falls.
Oh no. I can do it again. I'll do better.
He comes back up soaked in water.
I can do better. I get it. How much? How much for another attempt?
As the host is like, 2 copper.
You know what? I spit on my hands and not my feet. That was the problem. He's gonna spit on one foot, spit on the other, rub them together.
Okay.
Levias
No,
is kind of
actually, he's gonna.
pissing himself laughing. Kind of good thing he's got the cane. It's probably the only thing keeping him upright.
You guys ever seen? You guys probably don't because you don't watch sports. But LeBron
Be
James
as
likes
drunk
to
as that
get,
guy. Like the
what's
guy
it called?
falling off the pole.
Those like dust.
Yeah.
Gary's gonna get some dirt and.
You hear one of the guy goes, praise Big Rock.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you.
He's
I
just
wanna
like
talk
in the
to
crowd.
you.
There's like I said, there's like 200 people. You just hear that as dirt flies in the air. Praise Big Rock. That's it.
The old man's gonna go again.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
only do you go past the first three, you jump over the fourth onto the fifth.
Nice job.
Holy
Oh! You jump over the sixth onto the landing.
Nice.
You do what most people do
Nice.
in like five steps or so. You do it in two as they go, new record. People like looking as he like hits a giant fucking gong with a giant wooden mallet. Gong as everyone like
Oh
looks
Jesus
and goes-
Christ! And then he falls.
as people like the
That's
whole
hard.
crowd, the dancers, everyone looks. Half the people are laughing, half the people are cheering.
Nice.
The people who are like watching are half those people are divided. Half of them are like, "What the fuck did we just see?" The other half are like,
Buy
"It's
the man
amazing."
a drink.
Roll a performance check. Roll a performance.
You're right. We should. They go to another bar.
Yeah, they go to another bar. They do pour him a drink. They bring you a drink, not from unfortunate.
I'll drink it.
He
I
deserves
guess.
better.
Dear God, the virus, give me my cane back. No.
I honestly don't think that you need it, but here you go.
Well,
I do.
you currently have the record. So
Muzzle.
here you go. As they hand you a carved statue of a gator.
Oh, damn it.
It's a helmet.
It is a helmet.
It's like a hat. Like it's a wooden hat, like for a mask, but it's carved of wood.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna put it on. I'm a mosquito.
Now I'm a
gator.
gator and a mosquito.
Gator Skeeter.
As you see another guy in the crowd take his off and slam it on the ground. As you do gator clap. That's awesome.
That's enough
As you
excitement
come out,
for
people are
one night.
patting you like, "Oh my god, that was so good! I've never
Get
seen
off
somebody
me,
like
I
that.
don't know you.
That was so good. I had never seen nothing like that. That's probably one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. You're an inspiration to people of your age and my age.
Of my
Man, I
age,
couldn't do that.
Bet your ass, youngster.
I'm 134. What you talking about?"
Yeah.
Oh well, fair enough.
Let
He's older
someone
than me.
half
Fuck
your
off.
age.
I'm not gonna ask somebody who's doing this shit. He just wanders off, walks away. It just leaves.
I'm 7.
Levias or Morik, do you guys want to do the pillar jump?
I do.
Okay.
I'll
If you
pass.
break my record, I'm gonna
Morik.
cry.
I don't
17
think he
copper,
can.
3 copper, right?
3 copper to do it.
All right.
Completion, you still get a prize.
You said reflex?
It is reflex. You skip the first 3 onto the 4th.
Oh no. No.
DC does go up. That was a critical success. So
Oh.
you go from the 4th to the 5th as you make that jump, almost falling over as the poles are getting narrower and narrower. You jump onto the 6th. At this point, it's an easy hop as you hop right across onto the stage. As there's some clapping and cheering from the crowd as a number of people were watching after the whole.
Not as good as the old man.
Not as good as old. That's too long of a chant. As one of the people goes, "That's too long of a chant. We can't do that. We can't do that one." Good
Buy
job.
him a drink.
More Rick.
Buy him a drink.
More Rick.
Performance.
More Rick. More Rick.
More dick. More dick.
Thank you, Jerry.
Ox, I'll buy him a
So
drink from
upset.
him.
Okay, you come up. You come up to.
Dear
his-
God, it's bad. There's no. There's dust on those cups.
Please.
Oh yeah, see, I'm gonna buy 2 from him.
Okay.
I'm gonna buy 2 from him. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna sip it and very loudly. This is the best ale I've had in years.
Damn, now it's endorsed
Mm.
by the champion of the pillar jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, it is.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Levias?
I'll actually buy a drink from Star as
Okay.
well.
Oh hell yeah!
Two copper
Copper.
or one? There you, well, 2 copper. You
I'm
don't
taking
copper.
glasses. Yeah.
This is
Yep.
money I won from the wager, so it's not my money. I'm not going
Oh,
under,
fair enough.
so I can pay for this. I'm not paying for this. I'm using
Yeah.
what's his name?
Morik.
Morik's money.
Morik.
I still haven't bought a drink.
Whatever gymnastics you want to put this through, that's fine.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
However, you need to convince yourself.
Whatever you need to
Okay,
sleep at night.
so I want Morik. Are you going to try to endorse him as well?
Why not?
Morik, like everyone. Like if
I'm
you're
gonna
doing
hand
it,
him the one I bought.
you
for
go
him.
last, Jerry. Morik, roll me a performance check. +2 or +1 or +2 for a
Plus one.
It's one.
+1. Go ahead and roll me another one, Levias.
Yep. Performance, which is shite.
Don't worry, I think we all have shitty
Grog?
performance.
Yeah.
Do you want
Um,
to? You won the log.
I don't know. I don't know if I've made it here yet, though. He didn't tell us that he was setting up, right?
He did. He brought the keg in with you guys when you guys were there. Like you guys, you were aware that he is doing.
Yeah, we know where he split off with us.
Like first thing they did is they led them over to that area as they're like, we're gonna like. He's like, this is your station. That's where the fairground is. Like that's basically what happened.
If Grohl comes up, I'll actually give him. I'll give him a pint for free.
Okay. Once again, you've all won something basically.
This is the winner's circle.
Oh, did I get anything
Oh.
for winning?
Yeah, we'll get over that in a second, or we'll go over that in a second.
Yeah.
So you get a swamp rabbit's foot, basically.
Okay.
You get a lucky rabbit's foot. So the long and short is that item. Write it on your character sheet. It might be relevant. It might not.
Okay,
It might
so-
be relevant.
What did, apart from the, did I win a prize or just the money for mine?
It's just the money.
Lucky rabbit's foot. You get the lucky feet once.
Lucky rabbit's foot. You can eat it.
Could eat it.
Lucky
Grog?
rabbit's foot. It's
So
a
okay.
rabbit.
So have you been watching them do their thing?
Me
Well,
or
Grog?
Have I been watching them?
Yeah. Have
I
you been
just assume
watching
we all
them?
went
Like
with
hanging
them.
out, like going all together.
I
We
mean,
watched them
how-
do the log?
Did they watch me do the log?
Yeah. I'd say so. I did at
Yeah.
least.
I'd say we'd be
Um,
going as a group,
I was
no?
tempted to
Yeah.
throw a rock at the guy.
yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. So are you going with them back to the bar?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. You're given a free pitcher.
a
From-
pitcher or a pint?
A pint.
Pint.
Sorry. A free
Yeah, I was
pint.
gonna say.
A free pint.
Um,
As Star gives that to you. Are you also going to endorse it?
I'll take a sip and I'll say, it's good mead. Good mead.
Sale. Okay. Roll me a performance check.
Well, this is putting a lot of
It's not
pressure on
me.
me. You guys have rolled really well. Don't roll a 20, please, Clayton. Okay, you know what?
Yeah, that's not a 20. There you go.
Go
I wasn't
ahead, Jerry.
enthusiastic. I
Roll
was
me a
doing it.
diplomacy check.
It's the
Because
same-
is it the best you've had in years?
He hasn't drank mead in a while, so yeah. It's been a couple
That's
years.
kind of my thought
That would be
process.
deception. That would be deception.
No, he's not lying. This is
It'd
the
be
best mead he's
diplomacy.
had
He-
in the
yeah.
last 3 years. He drinks
Yeah.
tea now. He's sober.
Okay.
Not bad.
Dar.
With 2 plus 2s.
Yeah.
Or 2 plus 1s.
You get 24 new customers.
hell yeah.
And they all drink double because they're alcoholics. 48 pints.
It's a lot
You
of.
get-
lot
You
of
get 24
copper.
new customers, all of them bringing their own,
Their own glasses.
their own glasses.
You're going to affect this festival for years to come. Everyone's going to be walking around with one of those yard glass neckties or something.
I'll have to come back every 3 to 5 years.
This
So-
would be the craziest thing we've done.
Okay. As he continues to shop, like this is over the course of the night, he gets a number of people to come through. do you guys want to go anywhere else?
I would like to do a reading before we end.
As far as for like the things for the night. Okay.
Yeah.
Jade catches up with you guys. As Jade is actually going to go to the bar, she's going to buy herself 6 pints.
From who?
Jade,
From you
relax.
specifically.
Yeah.
Jade, relax.
Love you, Jade.
She's going to buy 6 pints.
Wait,
from
does she buy one for all of us? Is that why?
No, for herself. She drinks 6 pints
Oh,
herself.
oh,
What the hell happened in that
Does she rent
stable?
one? Does she rent one cup or does she bring one?
She rents 1 cup.
That's what I figured. Okay.
She
I get
rents
it.
your only cup. Yeah, she goes. You only have 1 cup, so she's like, I can go over there and just get a cup if you want me to.
No.
Okay. Yeah, she pays 2.
Um,
Goes through.
over by the palm reading place, can I just have a
Yep.
look around for any Arcanos? Because
So
palm,
how are you looking for them?
well, with Risen floating around, would he have told us any
So
ways?
how
or-
about this? You can aid Risen.
Okay,
How's that?
yeah, it works for me. He tells me what to look for, because
Yeah.
palm reading screams magic or some
Yeah.
mumbo jumbo kind of a
Abs-
thing.
Absolutely. He gives you a very general gist. He's like, look for people who are enjoying themselves too much, too little. If you can scour about, I'll point them out. I'll see if I can find one. They try to blend in, but once again, this isn't their natural environment. Probably not drinking, or if they are, they've been on the same glass the whole night.
Yeah, kind of like card counters in a casino kind of a thing.
Basically, or do they order another drink and then they pour half of it out on the
Waste of
overly
good booze.
drunk.
Perceive, is it?
You could do deception would be most appropriate, I think. Kind of briefly chatting with each of them. Okay. You can point out some general, but you're not helping. You're giving almost too many targets.
Yeah.
As he looks around, kind of wanders over, chats with somebody briefly, wanders over to somebody else, chats with them briefly, wanders over.
Everyone here is Arcanos.
He wanders over to 5 specific individuals that he kind of pointed out himself as of those. He's kind of narrowed it down. It's been about a 20-minute event to kind of narrow this field down. As he goes, 2 or 3. As he like I said, he comes back to the group. As he comes back and just goes 2 or 3.
Yeah, that's good to know. Just keeping an eye on them. Not that we're exactly gonna do anything
I don't
to
think that-
draw attention to ourselves.
I don't think they'd go against normal law, but once again, be aware. If you do this, you'll probably under be more careful watch. But everyone's doing it. I mean, there's been in probably the last 10 minutes, there's been 8 people who have gone inside.
Yeah, that's good to know.
So who all is going to do the reading?
I know I am.
I'm busy.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go to watch.
Okay. You're just gonna go in with him.
She doesn't even use dirt.
I guess I'll go. I'm curious.
You want to get a reading?
I don't want to get. Well, is it like are they public readings? Like, are they going?
No, they're in a purple tent.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, I'll
it's-
go anyway.
It's in a tent. Are you going in to get one or going into what?
Can I go in to watch one and then
Yeah,
get
if you
one?
want to go in with Morik, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, I'll go with Morik. I want
Elias?
to see. I'm skeptical.
I'll
though.
wanna go
I'll
in
stay
alone.
outside and keep an eye out.
Risen's doing the same.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Ox,
Short
I want to
break
go
here?
in alone. I don't want anyone to go in
Oh.
with me.
Okay, that's totally fine if you want to do that.
There's
I'll
a
wait
kid
outside. I'll get my own then.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's take a short break, bathroom break, grab some food if you need to, and then we'll come back and do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Blast off.
Okay. So, Morik, you want to head in?
Mm-hmm.
As you head inside, telling everyone else to wait. As you see a woman in a a very inflated purple gown. It is like it's very, very heavy set as she's a older woman who the skin on her face has become incredibly wrinkled. She has maybe like a small beard kind of beginning to grow that's been kind of cut back consistently. As she's bald headed, very obviously wearing a wig. As it doesn't match the rest of her, she goes, "Hello, welcome. What can I do for you this afternoon?"
I heard you do fortune readings. Palm reading.
Of course, I do many things. Come, have a seat. Lady Zanra will meet you.
Gross.
It's a silver piece for a reading.
I hand over a silver.
Takes it.
That's my entire day's winnings.
Stuffs it away.
She literally
Holds out
just
her
bit it in
hands.
half.
So do I ask a question, or how does this work?
Let me see what I can read first. We can go from there.
I'll give her my hand.
She looks calloused and worked. You've been traveling hard some time. This line here. Have you experienced loss? Or disconnect recently?
What a cop-out question.
Not too recent.
Oh, you're Dwarven. This line adjacent to it is longer. This person will be longer lived than you, most likely. Do you know someone like that?
Yes.
Well, taking a look, see how at the end, in the middle here, they intersect. Are you traveling to anywhere soon?
Yes, I do have a goal in mind.
Well, wherever you're traveling to, it's more than likely a designation that's been set. You'll meet them there. Your paths will intersect and then diverge once again.
They don't stay together.
Unfortunately not. If you look up here on this lighter one, you can see a third, very long-lived, that crosses almost on the exact spot where you intersect, but diverges a third time. Is there someone who may be trying to keep you two apart?
It is very possible.
Well, from what I'm reading, it looks like in the intersection, they may be the catalyst for the full separation of you three. Now, I'm only reading palm. There are a number of readers throughout the world, and I can only read kind of the lifelines. There may be other connections, but this is the general course that most people take. Can these things change? Of course, just as you hold a sword, new wrinkles will form, or otherwise, but this is what I see. And of dwarven descent, you've probably lived a third of your life or so.
Yeah, about, yeah.
The intersection is soon then. Very soon.
You'd be kind of worried if you just got like you've lived like about 9/10 of your life. Wait, what? You're gonna be dead in 2 weeks.
That's what I see. I see a number of other ones. Do you have any specific questions?
I'd actually like to know more about what you just told me about. Anything else?
Can I have your other hand? Takes it. She puts them together, kind of unfolds them, puts them together, unfolds them, sees where the different wrinkles in your hands meet.
I see five little piggies. This one goes to the market.
Was there a miscommunication between you two?
I didn't get a chance to say what I wanted.
I would say yes then. Going over it, it looks like they haven't been informed of what that was either, and there's confusion there. Now, I can only read you. Having them here might be useful. But honestly, that's all I can tell you here without having that individual here. As far as more particularly about that.
Do I still have enough time for one more question?
If it's a good one, or I'll throw you out. I'm
I
kidding.
have
Ask.
sort of.
No,
Not
you're
a
breaking
bluff.
up, Logan. Hold on. Breaking up.
Hello, hello.
Yep, go ahead.
I had the sorts of not blood, but brother by bonds before. How is he?
Ah, this offshoot. It intersects with yours and then this individual. Who you had some closeness with. But the line runs short. They could continue living, but it's possible that, depending on how these wrinkles form in your future, you may intersect. But currently, I don't see that path as likely. I think the answers to this question may come through her, and depending on how you live your life, what tasks you do, and based on the formation from your middle to ring finger, there could be a wrinkle that forms that intersects you two again, but I can't guarantee this. It's about how you live your life.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully
I'm
you
gonna
found
tip her
some-
3 silver.
Oh shit. She takes it and she goes, hopefully you found some silver in what I had to say.
If I could spare more, I would. Thank you.
This is more than enough. Thank you.
She's a witch burner.
Did you head outside?
I want to find a duck.
Who's the next one?
Grog,
I
would you mind going in together? These type of things scare me.
don't know. Is more coming out right now?
Yeah, as you guys are, you can chat
Mm.
as, you know, while he's going through this. Would you mind going in with me? Eventually he will come out.
Why don't we wait and see what Morik has to say?
Okay.
As eventually, 5 minutes pass, Morik comes out. What's kind of the face on Morik right now?
Relief and determination. Almost as if he's found a new goal.
Okay. So as he comes out, there's these eyes that look past you, like there's something else in his focus. As it almost takes you calling out his name for him to kind of realize you're even there to begin with, as he's focusing on something in his past. Morik, how did it go? As Grog says.
Oh, she seems to know what she's talking about.
Not just a bunch of baloney, then.
I would hope not. I think you should give it a shot.
Alone or together? What'll she even do?
Alone. Some things might be personal.
Well, old man.
After you, Grog.
Do you follow him in, or do you guys?
No, I'm gonna
because-
wait.
Yeah, he walks in after me.
Okay. Um. Okay. So, Grolk, as you're entering, see once again that older lady. She goes, "Hello. It's nice to meet you. Have you come for a reading?"
It would appear so.
Well, it's a silver to have read. I see in your eyes a certain level of hesitation. Have you done one of these before?
My faith is in Big Rock. As far as I see it, some fortune telling won't grant me much more clarity than prayer through him would.
She pulls out a stone. Sets a small, perfectly rounded pebble on her desk. Big Rock will keep your soul, and when your body degrades, you will return to him. Until then, you are yourself. And your hands show me the life you have lived in the near future. It will be a silver piece to have me read your palms.
Fair enough. Might as well give it a shot. And I'll lay a copper down on the table. Or a silver down on the table.
She slides it to her left, not taking it. She holds out her hands.
My
She-
God, there's a hair.
She takes one of your hands and flips it over. Oh my god, a beetle! Throws it.
Where's my shoe?
She takes it.
Mhm.
Abnormally long life for one such as yours. I guess that explains the beard. Are you dwarven or goblin?
Yes.
I suppose if you could put it in percentages, it'd be more goblin. But, the dwarf blood runs strong.
At the end of the day, you'll have to choose. See here where this signifies your lifeline. Long lived under natural circumstances. Things can change. But there's a split here. Notice how at the split it's relatively short and it continues longer. Well, I don't know when. There'll be a choice. At some point, very soon, as based off of how your life expectancy is, whether you're dwarven or goblin. Have others who have had this split blood, what is their average life expectancy? If you don't mind me asking, or have they died yet? I need to have an idea for frame of reference.
No, it's okay. It's actually kind of funny. It seems as though the younger we are, the less likely we are to live long. To be honest, the dwarf blood is from a few generations ago, and since then it has been almost exclusively goblin blood that has come in. It seems to be a gift from the past, but as my family grows, I mean, I've had siblings that haven't lasted as long as my great uncle.
Understood. And so it can skip or can choose who gets the more dwarven bloodline. So that makes yours a little harder to read, and once again, you'll have to forgive me if that sounds ambiguous, but maybe I can shed some light. This scar here in the middle of your hand seems to have left a scarring. Heavier, perhaps like a stone?
Donkey
that?
teeth, actually.
A donkey bit?
No, I'm joking. It's yes, stonework, moving rocks, mining, and the such.
So, it's good that you worship him. The it being so embedded into your lifeline means that he will have a course throughout. It does not matter which path or choice you make, he is there. That's good. If that is the God you have wished to chosen, I believe he will watch over you and see you through your death.
Till till I become a part of this giant rock we live on,
Of course.
my soul is his.
Now, let me ask you this. This lifeline, thicker than the rest, is there another bloodline potentially within you?
I mean,
Maybe one of strength beyond reason, beyond mortal men, something ancient. I haven't seen one this deep in a long time. Once again, and I could be mistaken. I can take a look at your other hand, but
no. It's I'm sorry. Did Morik tell you something? The dwarf that was just in here.
no, I read his lifelines exclusively. I can't
Well,
go into detail. You could ask him.
it's just
I haven't.
Great.
Once again, I don't mean to make an issue. I haven't seen these lifelines this deep since I had a young girl of elven descent in here.
Well, that's consider it stories from a crazy old goblin. Uh, one my great uncle Slip Up. He would tell me stories of how we 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 came from giant blood. How the the dwarf that was part of our family blood seemed larger than life, and that seems to have stuck with us.
So, the reason I ask this is see how it intersects where the split is. At some point in your life, you'll have to make a choice between the two, and that gives me some explanation of where this giant's blood came from. If that really is the truth, but that would make sense. The only other one I've seen this deep is dragon. Truthfully, ancient beyond all measure, but this one is deep and strong. Do you feel different? Do you show any different signs than your siblings and ancestors? Or are there others like you?
I mean, I'm the tallest of my siblings. I'm exceptionally strong, but I'd like to attribute that more to years of training, dieting, and exercise.
Well, that would explain the calluses, but there's something natural about it. Truthfully, it's in your blood. If I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if it was giant blood. But so if we assume, how old are you now?
30.
30. So if we assume it's dwarven age, then you have some time before this choice must be made. But if we assume you're of goblin lineage and age, there's maybe a few years before you have to make this choice, if that. It depends. Now, I see this intersection line here. It's interesting because it runs along the thumb's callus. Is there... That's typically used with tool use. Is there something in particular you use of an ancestors or otherwise on a daily basis?
I mean, and I'll like take the gun off my back. Like, before I had left, my great uncle Slip Off gave me this, saying it was an artifact of my ancestor. To be honest, he says he used to know what it was, but he's forgotten, and no one in my community knows. But it's hard as a rock and hits like a brick.
I have
And so I've been using it sort of as a club. Uh, in it, the only engravings or anything I could find was just this bit where, and I show her on the butt of the gun where it says like thunder, and then it kind of fades out, like scratched off from just Battlehorn. I'm like, I call it the Thunder Club because that seems to be its purpose in my hands.
Do you have a journey planned to Karak Thaldul in the near future?
No.
More particularly in the few years, perhaps. The reason why is there are swirls in this that show that there is a mystery or otherwise, and it intersects with one of these lines and overlaps with both, but mostly this one over here. And if we go with that assumption, is it of dwarven or goblin make, or do you know?
To be honest, I couldn't tell you. If I had to guess, I'd have to say Goblin because, I mean, the Goblin side of my family came from the Goblin Isles. At least, again, that's what I've been told by my great uncle. I do love listening to his stories.
So, as she points to a spot that is relatively non-calloused on your hand, this is where a craftsman would receive the most damage. He would be the most callous, and yet it is soft, like a child. One spot. I think if you sought out a dwarven smith, I think you'd find the answer to why this is so soft. I don't know which one. That's what I am reading. There is a reason why each of your fingers is so calloused from gripping this tool daily, but your middle finger on your right hand is as if a child newborn.
This whole time, Crocus had a middle finger that's like half the size.
But I believe that is why this one spot has remained untouched. I think there is a part of your life that is missing, and to not have that information, quite frankly, for someone of using it of war or toolsmanship or craftsmanship, it's a travesty. To not have the understanding of one's full purpose is horrendous. Have you ever felt something was missing or lacking? I believe this may be where your answer may lie. And I don't know if it's in Karak Thaldul, but a dwarven craftsman, and that's the only place I can think of that would be appropriate.
Mm. Well, I mean, that is the reason I'm here right now. When I left Grumbledar, I was told that I was of age, time to journey out, discover my life as my ancestors did. As I would.
It's good.
As my
Can I
siblings have and my father have. All of them.
It's a life worth risking. Can I have your other hand, please?
Sure. I'll give it to him.
Folds them and sees the difference. Left or right hand dominant?
Right.
What side have you been favoring? Not hands. Goblin or dwarven?
Say that again. I'm sorry, you cut out.
As she goes, what side have you been favoring? Goblin or dwarven?
Goblin.
That would explain a lot. Your favored hands typically asserts one's own soul. I can read their life as has been and close in their future. Your left hand is untouched. almost unmarred. You know so little.
You dumb fuck.
I'm. She goes.
Fortunately, my great great grandfather didn't stick around for.
She goes. That's a shame.
That's
I-
fine.
Can
Can
I
I?
be correct? Go ahead. Sorry.
I can't really be too mad at him with the large family that I do have. I think one missing great 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 grandfather is not the biggest deal.
For a goblin, that's typical. But this hand tells me you've been favoring it so much. The bones have not strengthened. The ligaments have not strengthened. You've been favoring the goblin kin so much that lightly calloused and grazed over top, they have not had a lifetime of learning. If you look at your lifeline, notice how the creases between the two are different. There is no intersection and split. There's only one. I believe this very well may be the dwarven ancestry. And if you notice here, on the very end of your index finger where it has begun to callus, where it has strengthened, I believe if you follow your lifeline to that point and begin to strengthen, you will understand much more of your own existence. Your purpose, if you will. I'm not saying forgo the right hand, but you must focus some on the left. For what happens if you fight something that can cut off your right arm? If the left arm cannot stand, if the goblin heritage is stripped away from you not knowing what it is, if the other half is bare, who are you?
Suppose I'm just Grulg then.
As she hands you a pebble. But notice how both sides are hard. Equally.
You've given me
Both
much
sides.
to reflect on.
I only read the palms. This is what they tell me. You may
So-
you may keep this stone in remembrance of what we have talked about.
Thank you. And I'll kind of a bow and I say, would you care for some? And I'll kind of refer to the jar that's on my side. Like,
I would happily partake in mush. May I
Okay.
see the stone?
yes. Luthor.
She reaches in. A small amount goes to Big Rock. She goes, for the stone, for Big Rock. Sets it down.
For the stone. For Big Rock.
She takes it. She reaches in, eats some, takes a little bit, and she unbounds a jar, scrapes her finger of it, and closes it once again. I have worshipped many gods, and I still do. Big Rock is new. Let's see where he falls.
It's exciting. Well,
The life of a deity, measured in mortal time. What a rare event it is.
if I'm not wrong, I seem to remember teachings of those such as Iomade, Caden Colleen.
And what were their teachings?
Mostly that of good, protection, defending the weak.
And they sought an impossible task where mortals beyond that measure would have failed. They did it for a village, a town, a people, or a single person, and overcame something most mortal men and women chance to. But this one was born of chance, of mistake, of men who desired something more, who worshipped something beyond themselves, and without taking a trial of gods, breathe life into something, and finally, someone came along and breathed life into it. And it took the breath of all of those before it and became something greater. There's a place for every god. There's a place for every man. But Big Rock has yet to find where he stands. Let us hope that he stands beneath our feet, strong and enduring forever.
Yes,
And she gives a bow.
to Big Rock, and I'll bow too.
As you
Um,
leave,
I have when I leave, I immediately pull out my my journal, and I start writing down the things that she said about just about everything, and especially the Big Rock. That part's going in like my story.
okay. Levias, Jermaine, do you guys ask him anything as he leaves? As he pulls out a journal immediately and begins writing.
In there for quite a while. You learned something new, did you?
We'll see. More so reflected on things of the past. But hopefully our future travels will lead us towards the answers I seek.
Fair enough.
Okay. As he wanders off, writing in his journal or has a seat, who's going in next?
I believe Jerry is.
Oh, I'll pass on this one, Levias.
Levias, are you going in or no?
Yeah, I think I will.
Okay. You'll pass or you'll go in?
No, I'll go in.
Can you reshare with me your sheet, please? Like hit the share link. Can you message it to me?
You need to
I
figure
know I've
out how
looked
you're
at
gonna
it
die.
before, but I don't remember it. I apologize off the top of my head.
Yep, just one sec, because it's on my computer and I'm streaming to send it to you. It's a pain in the ass.
Once again, if you can just click the share link and then send it to me in a message, I can pull it up immediately.
Well, one moment.
John, do you like stouts?
I just like beer. And if it's good beer, I'll drink it.
I feel like you'd really
I'm
like.
not picky. I'm not a big fan of coffee. Just
It's actually the first. Actually, I've enjoyed the taste of it. The first one.
a shot.
Okay. There it goes. Okay. Wait.
Before you start that, Ox, I think you're doing a great job with these readings. Very.
Thank you. I'm trying to keep them vague enough, but at the same time specific enough to be interesting.
Mhm.
Finish. Okay. So you did not put it on Google Drive then. That's why I don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 As you head inside, she goes, "Welcome. It's been a while since I've had your kind."
Yeah, well, we do get around occasionally. Not as often
Luck
as we
would
like
have it.
some days, though.
Luck would have it you've brought you to me. Is this my lucky day, or have you come to take mine? I guess at the end of the day, I guess we'll find out. A silver to read your palms, my friend.
Yeah, well, here you go.
You put a silver down, and she takes it, slides it to the left, instead of putting it in her purse. She holds out her hands. May I have your dominant hand?
Puts forward his right hand.
Preservatives. Hard and leathery.
Also, just could you speak up a little bit? You're coming through
Yeah.
a little quiet as well. Sorry.
Yep, I just moved it closer to my
Yeah.
mouth. Preservatives, hard and leathery. Is there a trade that you have picked up? Perhaps tannery or smithing, perhaps, but the calluses don't match. Um,
Yeah,
it's interesting.
family's being a tanner.
You have to apologize. This is a simpleman's trick. Let's look at your lifeline. She takes a look at your lifeline. You've loved once. Twice. 3 times. Interesting. Or is this perhaps what you've perceived yourself as? Infatuation, or is this love? How would you describe your own love history?
Probably the same as many others. Brief and awkward.
That would explain why it's a direct line against. Now, this is interesting. So, do you see how the typical wave in the palm? Most people have almost like a giant V that crosses. One being their lifeline, one being their beliefs, and effectively they eventually reach a singularity at the end point. They understand what they believe, and then they pass away. This intersects halfway through. And it's long past, even past the lifeline. Is there something you believe or something that calls to you that is not describable by words or text, but is a knowledge, maybe?
Yeah, you could say that.
Do you know the goblin who came in before you?
Yeah, I've been traveling with him for a little bit.
So he had here, she points, he had a knowledge of stone. Calloused part, the scar, but yours interweaved. It crosses over multiple times. It's like a slow learning process until it eventually becomes one with the own nature of the man. There is something natural about this. The natural duality and interchanging of the different beliefs as it goes to and from, on and off, until it eventually meets an equilibrium, which is equal. Does that mean anything to you?
I think it does. From what I've kind of heard, and exactly who I worship and whatnot, I could see that.
I won't ask questions there. Now, these other lines that cross over it, they're brief. Have you perhaps ever hurt or because of these beliefs turned in someone that you may or may not agree with? Like that. Notice how the intersection here wavers as it pushes off. Notice how it intersections with this lifeline here, which is your life. This belief system, I believe, is not connected at this time. Is there anyone you regret maybe turning in or maybe intersecting where you wish that it hadn't? Is that possible?
I'm trying to remember exactly what I wrote down on my actual character sheet. I think it could be possible. I've had some disagreements, not exactly turn them in, but with my folks after all, they might see the world a bit differently to me.
So the question is, are you their beliefs or your own?
I think it might be theirs. on my own. I'm still trying to work this stuff out.
And that makes sense. It wavers to and fro, depending on who you meet.
Hmm.
If you don't mind me asking, who is it, or rather, what is it? You're a halfling, yes?
That I am.
How old are you?
I'd be 32.
So notice here, you're maybe quarter, less than a third way through your life. They've intersected slightly before here on the third mark. Notice how the belief system has changes here. There's an erratic shift as it comes to meet once again, and it becomes less and less drifting as it moves forward. Have you recently found your belief system being shaken?
Just a wee bit high.
I think as you find, notice the less erratic as it becomes. Your belief system will come to whatever you have recently found. You're on the right path. And much like anything, as you do work, as you do livelihood, things change. Now, you're halfling in nature. Is your right hand is your dominant, yes?
Aye, it is.
Can I have your left? Okay. Ooh. Notice how your lifelines don't link. Folds them back and forth over and over again to try to overlap them. And you get to the point to where your hands are almost like this to get them to overlap.
Mm-hmm.
There's an intersecting force. It doesn't follow your life or your beliefs. There's something else that interjects. Now, the assumption here for most people would be that your life is at a duality. But at a certain point, as she turns your hands, she unfolds them and folds them again. A direct right angle shows a split. It does not show that a choice or otherwise. It instead shows that capability. It shows the ability to perform both. It shows the natural imbuation of choice. You can embrace one or you can embrace the other. Now, you definitely favor this hand. Points to your right hand. This hand is soft, unmarked and unmarred, a blank slate to be worked with. It lies within you at all times. Well, I won't say what I suspect, but what I will say is, you know what I suspect.
I think so.
In times of trouble, or chaos, or peace, you have the ability to call upon the natural natures of this life, whether through learned, experience, or natural. It may never come to fruit, as there are almost no calluses on this hand, but it's there. And if you were to begin to favor this, the calluses would become to form. Looking on your left hand, no calluses on the ring finger, the middle finger, the index or the thumb. In between the index and the ring, so perhaps you often put things there to hold briefly, but they are quickly loosened. Once again, this could be attributed to an archer, or it could be to a natural understanding of something that you quickly remove from yourself. The question is, I don't believe that what you have been taught you will follow to the rest of your life. I think as you continue to travel and adventure, some other things will unfold. Will you take that right angle or not? I don't know. But what I can tell you is perhaps what you perceive the world as is being quickly shaken. And maybe it's time to change. Maybe it's time to accept something that you haven't often looked at as valid. Maybe it's time to look at philosophy in a different way. Maybe what you have been taught of someone's views, outlooks, or outputs, it's time to look with an independent view. Now, once again, it could be a huckster and a trickster, but only time will tell.
Hmm. That as well. Change is always difficult.
She puts her finger on your silver, slides it directly in front of you. If there's no other questions that you have, thank you for your time. Hopefully this was beneficial to you.
Given me a bit to think about. You remind me of someone that I used to know. I'll get up and leave the tent, and I'll leave the silver there.
As you leave.
Levias.
Yeah.
If if you knew then what you know now, would you go into that tent?
I think I would actually.
Why's
was-
that?
Thinking, to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical at first, but she's got some interesting points that she can actually tell you. Maybe a young fella, but even an old dog such as you can learn a few new tricks. You can't be that old after all that flipping about and you did earlier on those poles.
Yeah, but if you knew now what you knew
Luck
then,
of
then
the
what would you have to
draw.
gain?
Would you mind sticking around and coming inside with me, Levias?
Certainly.
Appreciate it. Let's go in real quick. I'd like to go get that free beer that Star offered us.
He's giving us a free beer. Well, go fuck yourself. Vroom. Nah, I'm going in.
Thank
Okay.
you, Levias.
You come in. Welcome back.
What,
And
Fred this time?
it's a silver piece to read palms.
There's a silver piece.
Slides it over to her right side.
Hmm.
I have the feeling that skepticism flows through you strongest of all. A innate knowledge that surpasses most. What's your dominant hand, friend?
Well, I drink with my right hand, but, I also drink with my left hand, so,
There's a
neither.
duality. May I have both then?
Double
Sure.
fisting.
She takes both your hands and opens them, closes them, trying to see the difference. Now that's interesting. A life on one. Pushing to the northeastern corner of your index finger. However, this one over here pushes toward your middle. There was a split in your life at some point, and you have followed one to its conclusion, almost. Now, what per se I could not tell you. However, I can tell you that the one you're on, these calluses on your left, it's a life of struggle, turmoil, searching, seeking, perhaps not even finding. To dig apart the bark of an oak only to find a solid tree that cannot be felled without an axe. In the right hand, soft, slender, moving, but one. almost as if a part of you at all times, a duality within you, almost like, well, two beings become one. A life before and a life after. Notice how at the first, maybe third, they intersect, but as she closes and she opens them again, you begin to notice the offshoot that she points in the lifeline. Something happened to cause this duality. And now I cannot say which life you live, but what I can say is on the life of struggle and turmoil, there is conclusion. But on the life of searching, seeking, there is peace. Notice how in both lives this line intersects at the same point. I believe it being the deepest rooted is the one person you have the closest connection with. It intersects later on in the life cycle. Is there someone who you have had incredibly close proximity to? A loved one, a lover perhaps, or otherwise, that something happened and caused a separation?
Something like that.
Notice how at the end of the lifeline there is a connection. Now, I cannot say how much longer after this it continues onwards, as lives continue for well past what I can read, as I can only read what is currently there. But wrinkles form as they are used, as you hold tools and you hold items. As you do your daily lives, new things form. But notice here, near where this lifeline ends, the intersection. Now you're older, but you may not be into your life cycle. However, from what I can see, with the closeness, if you are, there's a reconnection. And it does not stray far. This loved one or lost one comes back. Notice how these four intersecting lines happen. This one comes back. These three do not come back. These, while lightly grooved, you had a deep connection at one point, but notice how they become shallower and shallower over time, while this one stays deep throughout its entire cycle on your palm. This one comes back. These three fade off into who knows what. I can only read your palm. Now, notice where they shoot off. At the end of the life cycle, there is an intersection, almost a knowledge or a innate drawing, tools or otherwise. As they slowly come to the end, they intersect once again. There is a choice to be made as they intersect once again of which life, peace or struggle, but satisfaction, contemplation in knowledge, redemption. A duality lies within us all, but for you, it has become nature. I have to be honest, I am very sorry. I'm sure this troubles you greatly. I'm sure something has happened in your past, a death of a loved one, perhaps a change, perhaps something that caused you to leave abruptly, that caused this. And truthfully, I'm sorry. But know that there comes a time where there is a choice to be made. But before that, a loved one comes back. And at that point, you have the support needed to make that choice, whatever it may be. Once again, I can't tell you what that would be, but I hope it has found you some peace or some knowledge has been found in this.
Oh, I'm gonna stand up, slide her a silver. Another
Additional?
one on top. Yeah. Oh, you only got one thing wrong, so get another silver.
Takes it. What thing did I get wrong? I'd love to know.
I was never a skeptic. I just feared what you had to say.
My apologies. I assume those who are old have had this happen many times and have had people who do it as a performance instead of an art come over them. I apologize once again. As she takes the coin that you slid and slides it back to you slightly.
Mhm.
Like, she's not saying take it,
Yeah.
but it's like, it's yours to take.
I'll grab her hand and push her back. I've seen the faces on my friends. You simply bring a sort of inevitability, and contrast to me, my work brings me only possibility, and that's what I fear. I'll slide her back the coin and grab Levias by the shoulder. Let's leave.
At the end of the day, how much free will does any mortal really have when we play in the domains of gods?
Come on. To get
And
that
then the
drink
tent
now.
blows up.
Arcanna's coming in, stab her in the neck.
Yeah. You walk out, it's like, turned around, the tent's not there anymore. Like, whoa, that's creepy.
Bogey down!
Oh, it's over there.
As you guys all once again meet at Star's booth.
Star, there's this woman spouting nonsense for a silver. You need to speak with her. Granted, you give me a copper and I'll spew nonsense all night.
Allow me to translate for you, Star. She's quite insightful. It might be worth looking into.
Man, if I could just say bullshit and get a silver person. Instead, I'm out here busting my balls selling something.
Did you like yell at a crowd that's not looking at you?
God.
Selling something.
Have you sold any since we left?
Yeah. There's been a couple.
You need to here. Put on this hat, and I'm gonna hand him the gator hat.
You gave him the gator mat. You don't have a mask.
No, I'm giving him the hat that I got.
It's like a
From-
mat. It's like a full over the head.
Yeah,
giant
absolutely.
Gatorade.
Yes.
Okay.
I am taking it off and giving it to him.
I don't think that's how this
Yes.
works.
That's okay. It looks good on him.
It looks like a gator eating a fucking bird.
Ah!
This makes me uncomfortable. You can have it back.
It is heavy, and you're not as strong as me. I understand.
Mm.
Yes, that's why.
You said there's a crowd of people nearby.
Just everywhere.
Are they drinking the Redmont Ale? Can I
No.
tell from their glasses?
Most
No.
of them are drinking from the tavern they typically go to.
I'm gonna go over to a crowd with my ale that Star gave me for free.
Did Sar give you a free ale?
Yeah, she said she did.
Yeah.
Or he
He-
said she did. He said we did.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
I had given each of them a free ale.
have you ever been to Redmont, sir?
Once when I was a small boy.
Oh,
my
so
father took me.
you didn't get the chance to try the best ale this side of the. I'll remember the name of this.
When I
Of the
This-
Redmont!
This side of the Pops Lumberyard River.
Nope. Can't say I have.
Take a sip. Whoa, whoa, whoa! As he takes a second step, I'll take it back and go. I'll take another step. I go. Ah, reminds me of when I was a kid.
A lot of that going around
Now
tonight.
you can.
You remember that far back?
Yes, I do. Now quiet. Respect your elders.
Yeah.
Levias, you're older than me, but still respect me.
No,
Now
Levi's is
you
younger.
can keep drinking your ale from this town, and sure you'd probably enjoy yourself and have a wonderful night.
In fact, it might be so great that you never touch another ale. Leave. Go away.
But you can come with me, and I'll tell you stories of how I set a record for the log jumping event, whatever you people call this, and you can feel like a kid again just for one night.
Now, what do you mean, you people?
The people of Pharaoh.
Ah, roll me a d20. Nothing else.
Oh, okay, that's a diplomacy check for me. Ah, it was close. I gave her my ale.
I'll buy a pint.
Good enough for me, and you'll tell your friends how great it was.
Of course, if as good as you say and as good as I
You
tasted,
just had it.
I can do that.
Perfect.
Comes over.
Oh,
Jermaine.
2 copper
Oh, no,
down.
shake his head.
Um. What was I gonna say? Oh,
Oh no, you didn't say it.
shut up.
Witty
God damn, I
data.
forgot. I was gonna say a thing. I don't remember.
Okay.
Oh, right. How did the local tavern's ale taste?
It's not bad. There's a very
Anything special?
yes. There is definitely something that gives it almost like a spicy tinge. A very light of it's almost a spicy mead,
Mhm.
but it's not hops and barley. It's
Mhm.
not a classic, kind of deep rooted ale. It's not a a deep rooted, very deep stout like the Redmont is. This is a very slightly spicy. There's a good taste to it, but it's very different. I don't know how else to describe that.
It sounds like you're trying to say like, to someone from Redmont, it probably tastes good because it's different, and vice versa with the Redmont
Yeah,
ale.
that's probably the best
It's
way to
different,
describe
yeah.
it. Is it's they're both strong in their own rights and have very rich, deep flavors in almost opposite directions. Whereas one is very classic beer, one is kind of sweet, almost like a wine, but has this like slightly spicy aftertone, kind of cinnamony taste to it.
Okay.
In short, it's good. But if you're expecting a classic beer, hops, barley, that kind of thing, there's nothing in your travels. There are things that tie Redmont Stout, Redmont Ale. There are not things you have tried that have exceeded it. This is a very, very good ale.
Okay.
In short. Okay. As you guys have a seat at Star's Bar, drink and talk, maybe in silence. Eventually, the festivities die down as the quiet comes over the crowd as the side streets have emptied. As
Wait,
everyone has
wait.
gathered towards the center. Okay.
Before everything ends, I need to find a place where I can buy some milk.
That is very doable.
Okay.
Pick me up something while you're there.
He said that the taverns are probably going to
that's okay.
stuff we can leave out.
Well, I want to have extra just in case.
It's doable. Okay. You find a place. It's about 2 copper pieces for, a small amount of milk and some salt in a bowl.
How much for like a gallon of milk?
and like a large bowl of salt,
No, small amount of salt, just a lot of milk.
like 4 copper, 4 or 5 copper.
No, I'll
Thank you,
drop
Drake.
it.
Okay.
Just on the ground.
Yeah. As in the center of the festivities, as kind of the side streets is emptied out, as you guys maybe are become a little more curious, as you kind of wander towards, a large paper lantern is made. As they light it, a red flame goes, and as they push it out into the gap in the net, as it pushes beneath the water, it fades, pushes forward, passes the net, it goes green, and as it keeps pushing forward, and forward, it goes blue, and then is gone in the water.
So, like, pulled under, or
Or it instantly was put out. The most likely thing is it was pulled under. Take that for what you will. It could have been blown out. It could have burned out instantly. Like it could have been on a short wick that's designed to last only maybe 5 or 6 minutes, and then go through these colors and fade. Could have been pulled under. Could have been blown out. Could have burnt out. And then it's gone. And as it's gone, people in silence turn and begin leaving towards it. And when I say this, 200 people in absolute silence is eerie.
tell me
As
about
they
it.
all walk, all you hear is footsteps. As they pass you by, not going to any of the side streets, not going to anything else, they return to their home without any talking, perhaps a small shushing of children as they leave and go to sleep.
Do we see a tavern in sight?
You don't see a tavern in sight, but it'd be pretty easy.
I would follow Jade.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a fair point. As you follow Jade, she does know where the tavern is. As she takes you there, as you see once again that manager who had spoken to you. As you come in, as she goes, well, hopefully the festival was up to your liking. I had a number of fun. I did not win a single event, but I had enjoyment.
Ah, yes, it's quite enjoyable. Reminds me of Crushman.
Crushmas?
Yeah. Do you
I
not celebrate Crushmas around here?
I don't know if I've ever celebrated Crushmas. Maybe
I think
next time it's about, you could teach me.
only your tribe celebrates it, is what it sounds like.
Crushmas is a well-known holiday among followers.
Yeah, haven't you ever heard
okay.
of the Muletide Log?
You think you're the only Big Rock follower I've heard of since I've met you. No, that's not true. We met a couple.
That
You were the
that
first.
fortune teller was one. You could ask her.
Was she?
Yeah, it was written in the scriptures. And Big Rock would come with claws, and since then, he has come with Santa Claus every year to bring presents to good boys and girls, and to crush those who are evil.
Do you
Which is
leave-
why it is oftentimes tradition during Crushmas to go out on a quest and try to destroy any evil in the area.
Do you leave mush out for Santa Claus?
Yes.
Oh,
You
I
understand.
understand. I understand now. Can I try some mush real quick?
Sounds like in the years, Big Rock has evolved into a neutral good god.
Very
I'd say so.
possibly.
I'd say he's probably neutral good, maybe leaning chaotic good.
I'd
Yeah,
say most
definitely
of the
not
rocks
lawful.
I've met.
Definitely
No,
are
no,
neutral
no,
good.
no. I wouldn't.
Ox, did you say we got to the tavern?
I'll give Jerry
Mush.
some a tiny bit of mush. I'll
So,
say
how
the
does mush
first
taste?
before he tastes it, I'm like just letting
Okay.
you know the first time you taste it is usually jarring, but after that it
It
grows
is
on
still
you.
jarring.
Yeah, you kind of.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Actually,
gonna
that's not too
gonna
bad.
just down the hatch all at once.
It is like the sourest sourdough you've ever had. It's a fermenting bitterness.
I take a step back.
I understand why you like it, but it's quite the acquired taste.
You find that each time you try it, it's better and better.
Oh. Huh? What?
It's
Fucking
funny, and
piss
I'll
mine.
I'll like take like a handful and I'll like start eating it. I'm like, to me, it always tastes almost
Home.
like a yeah, like home, like sweet, almost like an apple pie almost.
As
It
soon
is
as he
the-
says that and I see him swallow it, Jerry's gonna blow chunks. Whoa, very sweet. It's coming on his nose. It's not pretty. It's not good. His whole.
Jerry's diabetic. He can't handle the sweetness.
As it's the bluest blue cheese you've ever had.
Oh,
It is sour and fermenting. It is there. But at the same time there's something like that you can appreciate, but the moment he says apple pie, something happens as you're just it just comes out as the bar host was going to go, well, after these celebrations, I was planning to give you each a room, but we'll call it 5 copper cleaning.
I'll
Oh,
pay for half, Jerry.
Oh, thank you. I'll put up 3. You put up 2. Be appreciated.
Go ahead, Star. What you're going to say?
Something I've noticed is that mush is pretty different between regions. Yeah, the goblins in Taldor had a little bit of orange.
Huh?
Love to try it.
As you pay 5 copper, and you each go to bed.
Before I go to bed, Ox,
Consult outside.
Okay.
I'd like to go to the barkeep.
Why, hello there, friend. What can I do for you tonight?
How much for the usual spirit offering?
Well, I'll tell you what. You've known your friend for us. I'm assuming you came into town with him since you sat at his table. Is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, that's
brought
not
a
fair. A lot of people sat at the table.
He brought a good bit of coin my way. So, we'll call it 2 copper. I'll put the offering in front of your tables. He starts pulling out 5 small, like 5 pitchers, but they have a small amount of milk in them as he pulls out some bowls.
I'd like to actually use the gold for my offering.
Very well. Takes one of them back. Gets a large like mixing bowl, fills it with salt. Pitcher fills it with milk. He goes, "That's the best I can do. I'm sorry, I don't have much more for you, but
After Jerry threw up, I give him the gallon of milk. I'm like, here, just to wash it down.
Oh, thank you.
Chug, chug, chug.
No,
So you
he's
just
just gonna
give-
sip it.
So you each are given a room. You each are given a small offering. Who of you drinks it, eats it, keeps it?
Can you boil? I want him to boil some water with the tea that I gave him, just like
Yeah,
a pot of
You
it.
can do that. He
Can
just
you
does it.
give that as my offering?
No milk or
Some
salt?
tea. Well, you could put some milk in the tea, but not too much. It's my offering after all.
Very well.
Thank you. How much?
It's just boiled water, friend. If
Yes,
it's
well,
for the milk, you pay a copper. You want any salt with that or no?
no salt. Salt does not go well with tea.
Very well.
Since I shared with you my mush, why don't I try some tea?
brew a second pot for the offering. We'll drink this one.
Okay. He
How
does.
much?
It's just water, friend.
Yes, well, Little Redmont charges me up the wazoo for boiled water. Isn't that right, Star? We'll call it 5 copper for 2 pots.
We'll call it 16 platinum.
Whoa!
He said they up the wazoo. I was trying to meet them.
Listen,
Steve.
I'll
Five
give you a
copper
silver,
is- Five
and we'll call it
copper is-
even. No.
5 copper
One
is
silver
more
with the
than
tip.
reasonable.
You've been kind. I threw up on your floor.
Takes it over.
It's gonna suck to clean up.
As you make the tea. Who all is drinking it?
I would like anyone is welcome to join us.
My
I'll, pa-
understanding that you don't
I'll pass on the
What?
tea.
drink the offering.
What? Well,
He
yes,
made-
we're,
This is the
we're
tea.
drinking, and then I'm giving more tea as an
Well,
offering.
He was Ox had mentioned about drinking the offering.
No,
earlier.
I want to make 2.
You
I
it
said
earlier.
I would make 2 pots.
Yeah, he
one
wants
to
to
drink together, and then one for the offering.
Oh, but I would see if
I
you offer.
only have 4 glasses or 4 cups, so.
I have my
Levi-
own.
Oh, okay, perfect. Levias, would you like some tea?
Not exactly my style, that, unfortunately, so I'll be right, thank you.
I'd appreciate if you took a sip. It would make me very happy.
Sure, I'll
Let's split
take
a
it.
couple of others.
Okay. I'll take it. So-
You and Morik can split the tea. It goes down easier if you put a splash of milk in it. After, but not before. Those heathens that put it before. Oh,
brings you a small pitcher of tea so you can pour a little bit. As you pour the cups, you all drink it. As it's good. It's not bad.
Con save,
As
because
you
it's
like
made
it.
out of swamp water.
Can I get everyone to roll me a wisdom
wisdom?
gonna
I'm
go-
trying to poison you.
wisdom save as I'm gonna go
Will save.
pee.
Okay.
We're gonna take a brief break here.
Ox, are we going to be ending within like 30, 40 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I've got people turning up shortly, so.
Don't worry, me and Grok are gonna fail this. Don't worry. Probably start 2.
Okay.
Oh, and
my God.
The spirits do not like us.
is that 2 ones?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
man.
I've rolled 3 ones this session.
Dude, so have I.
Yeah, but you've also
And I rolled
When you
and I
rolled
rolled
20s,
like
I haven't rolled a single one.
rolled
You know,
120.
To be fair,
Last
it hasn't been a
campaign when
high
we did
roll game.
tarot card readings, I didn't like them too much because they felt weird. This one felt okay. This one
This
I
one felt like we were actually having. I don't know. I
think
like the
that
tarot
goes
card
with-
readings too.
honestly, I
it's
don't
fun.
because of how long the campaign was ago. Like it was probably what it was like 8
The
9
tarot-
months ago since the tarot card readings happened.
I think the
I
tarot
just don't
card
felt longer
readings
than that.
also felt a lot more out of our control. Whereas this is like she gave us new information and was like, "Do with it what you want." Like,
It makes me glad that I answered I answered like probably 75% of those questions. Some of them that I didn't have the answer to, I just didn't do.
I'm glad I didn't answer it because I was going.
I feel like Ox did very, very well with mine. Based
think
on
that-
what he
that-
read through my background.
That goes with if you answered your questions how you liked your character. I'm sure he did a good job.
I just can't wait to go back with a keg of
A keg
Pharaoh.
of Pharaoh, exactly. You just gotta get stuff that's like super foreign because
Well, that's what
like
that's exactly what I've been
It
doing.
makes sense.
So
like,
anyways, I think Ox
When
really
we
has
when
the
we start
biggest
getting
chance.
more when you start getting more money, you should try to just collect a little bit from everywhere so that you can maybe you don't sell a lot of Redmont ale in
well,
Redmont, but
Well, the idea is that once I get money and I can like get a larger wagon, I can
Mhm.
have a collection of drinks.
perfect.
Because
That sounds
at
good.
the moment I have a hand cart that I'm pulling with my
That's
keg.
fair. That's fair.
I can only pull so much.
Logan, you here?
Yep.
Okay. Let's start it back up.
I didn't even stop it.
Fair enough.
Really? What the fuck are these will saves, guys?
They're
Yeah,
bad.
2 ones. I mean,
You're the one
Elias
that
is the
asked
only
for
one
it.
that rolled well.
I can handle my liquor.
Do we get halfling's luck for having the tea?
You're drinking tea. What? No, you get Jerry's luck. -3.
Hey, at level 5, I can give other people my luck. So I can let other people re-roll.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? What did Jerry do to this tea ox?
I told you, swamp water.
It's a Jerry surprise.
I pooped in
I
it.
put,
I put
him
dirt in it.
I was gonna say, I took the tea leaves out and I just put a bunch of dirt in it. Dirt and
Oh,
mush.
'cause
It's
this
my
has anything to
specialty.
do with
Tapeworms,
experience.
boys. So, tapeworms affect the will, don't you know?
Yeah.
Your will to live.
Everybody's gonna be shredded after this session.
I'm immediately to start cutting.
Morik and Grog, you have a night
Yes.
of nightmares. What you are.
Oh.
Damn, even after putting a gold of offerings out?
I think it's because they just wanted milk and salt. They were all like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
Why
we
put
put
a
out a
gold
lot
worth
of milk and
salt out?
Yeah, I put,
Basically it's a. So you failed it, and then you rolled a 1, so it's a critical fail. So, you both have nightmares of what you are. The palm reader. You have almost a worst case scenario that floods your mind. Person that you meet, decision that you make, good enough.
I'm annoyed.
It will be horrible. It will be horrible. It's your own personal inhibitions, your own personal anxieties are what flood you.
I choose not to prove it.
Fair enough, but these are what happen. You can decide how you react.
I ignore it.
A night of sweat-filled tossing and turning, an unrestful night of sleep. Jermaine, Star.
Yeah.
You both have. It's a fear of mistake. It's nowhere near as extreme, but it's the fear that what you heard is true. Star,
I didn't hear
for
nothing.
you, correct. So I'm coming back to you. It's a fear of the day of maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I shouldn't do these things. If it wasn't for my friends kind of propping me up, maybe I would have failed.
sounds about right.
It's not as bad. It can be counteracted with your own self-will or otherwise. These are each for you to decide. Levias.
Oh, that dream was stupid. I'm the best.
Levias.
Mhm.
You have a dream. As from the swamp water itself, a woman rises from the water. From where Jerry had just jumped over the pillar, a woman rises from the water covered in
Covered in what, sorry?
vines.
Mines, okay.
Turns her head. So you see.
Evening.
Nice to meet you. A place of dreams for each of you. Some offerings accepted or not. But their will wavers or won't. It's been some time since I've had someone to talk to on this glorious day.
Well, I'm always up for a bit of a chat.
And yet if I tell you the name of what's in my swamp, will you recoil? Or will you see? I don't know the answer. Do you?
Honestly, I don't know. Not from around here myself, so we'll see.
Arcanos.
A god. Time forgot. Dogma accepted through text incomplete. A god of magic. God of change. God of hope. Of domain. Do you know why most Fae recoil at the name Fae?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Because we are ever changing. To put a name is to establish permanence.
Yeah, I got that.
And yet, 200 years ago, this was a forest. Something broke free and brought flooding, which began changing the environment. And yet the vines grow. Fae establishes permanence. I prefer if you were to assign a name of changeling.
So are you the actual changeling that this whole festival's bounced about? Heard mention of your name, well, not your name, but heard mention of you beforehand.
Chuckles. That might be me, my mother, my sister. Who knows? It's been so long. And yet within my forest it stays. Within my swamp it sinks. And in time that too will fade. Much like my name. It's been a pleasure talking. Thank you for the offering. Sleep well, dear halfling, and may luck ever follow you in this domain.
Hopefully I'll catch you next time.
That's your dream. You all wake up. Whatever offerings you left have been removed. The milk, the salt, the tea, or otherwise is gone. Whatever you left in the front of your door be absolved by this spirit, this person, Santa Claus, Fae, changeling, god, or otherwise, or human who just is very stealthy and likes to keep up the name. They have taken it and left empty bowls, empty plates, empty cups, and no name. As you awake from your slumber, one by one filing down to have breakfast. As you meet a young lass who's working the counter, as whoever is the typical bar manager otherwise staying up late the night before, taking care of the festival, has been replaced by this individual, as she seems to be in her young 20s, as one by one you filter. Hi, what can I get started for you?
Just something basic if we could. Bacon and eggs. Nice hearty breakfast after last night's drinking.
That can be arranged. Hopefully the hangover's not bad, but you know how things are. I'll
I'm
get
feeling
that
actually
moved up
fine.
right for you.
Mm.
Good to hear. As she begins making. One by one, you head down. Whatever perceived character pick up. As you all gather together. Jade says, well, I haven't slept like that in quite a long time. The beds here are nice compared to the road mats.
Yeah, it's quite comfortable, that one. Slept really well.
Did everyone else do well?
Yeah, it was okay.
Oh. I don't think that tea sat well with me last night.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think it actually helped relax me a bit, and I slept pretty well. I'd have to try some more.
Wrong. It's quite like mush. It's an acquired taste. You'll get used to it.
Did you all have the strange dream where the spirit of the forest talked to you as well?
Yeah,
You're a madman.
sure.
You need to see a doctor.
No, more like nightmares. If any
You also need to see a doctor.
nightmares, I'm pretty sure that they
Yes.
just kind of happen.
Maybe they happen to you.
You're telling me you've never had a nightmare in your
Never-
entire life?
Never once. I've had a scary dream, but never a nightmare.
To be fair, I probably couldn't remember them anyway. He's so old.
Risen comes downstairs, tired. Not like the two of them that rolled ones, but tired.
Risen
So-
shine.
We got me for another 4. What are we doing today? As I want you to talk about the nights that you had.
Mhm.
Share the experiences inside your next course of action.
Hmm. What are the chances we can
We,
pause it here for this week?
If that makes the most sense, that is very reasonable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
fine
okay
with
with
that.
that.
I wouldn't
Okay.
mind actually watching the replay. Kind of a lot of shit coming at me then, so it's like I kind of want to go back and double check that.
That's fine. We
Yeah.
can end there.
A lot of
Cool.
fun.
Yeah.
I liked the carnival thing that we did. This session
Learned a
was
lot of
very-
cool stuff.
Yeah.
To the channel we go.
Yeah.
To the
Yeah.
speech channel we go.
See you.